card. Free with FNBO free checking. Gear up, game on, and give it up for the Big Red. Every time you pay. The Husker Visa debit card. Only at FNBO, the bank of Husker Nation. Bring it. Get yours today at fnbo.com/Huskers. Member FDIC.
You expect your home to protect everything you love, but you don't expect that water is the reason parts of your concrete have gotten so uneven. Walkway tripping hazards, sinking pool deck, cracked driveways are dangerous threats to everyone's safety. But there's one way to learn how your concrete can be lifted. A free home inspection from Groundworks. We put water back in its place. Get your free inspection at groundworks.com. License number C142293.
Well, in typical Husker baseball 2025 fashion, it got interesting and remained interesting. The Huskers had the bases loaded and nobody out in the third inning. Could not score, and you just hoping that wasn't an omen for the day. But Huskers got some big swings. Brumbaugh with a two-run homer. Haligso, just a masterful day at the plate. Big RBI there, and just some brilliant pitching by Rob Childress' staff with Ty Horn and Luke Broderick. And the Huskers, Nick, extend their season at least one more day.
There's no question that this starts with Ty Horn and giving you another masterful performance. And this is one where he really had to dig deep. And not to say that it was easy against UCLA, but I would say the stuff wasn't nearly as crisp as he had in that Big Ten championship game. But this is where we continue to see the evolution of Ty Horn and that maturity, that physical maturation, but also that mental maturation of what he's been able to do and fight through some of those moments where it gets a little dicey, and has been able to come up with a pitch and trust the guys behind him.
And one of these, proud, outstanding, two of the best programs of this new millennium, Oregon State and TCU. One of these programs will see its season come to an end today after both clubs had rough starts in regional openers. TCU pounded by USC 13-1, and the Beavers dug themselves an early 3-0 hole and were not ultimately able to recover en route to a 6-4 loss to the St. Mary's Gales. And the upshot for today, another warm, gorgeous day, by the way, we're grateful for here in the Mid-Valley. But it couldn't be any starker than it is. It's win or go home, and that's not an enviable position by any means. It's my honor to be working alongside, as I mentioned, OSU Hall of Famer Big Jim Wilson again. As we sit here, Jimmy, about a half hour away from the first pitch, sitting in the McGrath family press box, another huge crowd coming in. It'll be a sun-baked crowd again today in the mid-afternoon. The Beavers are hopeful to play their way into tomorrow. They worked relentlessly through their well-documented road travails all year long to earn a national seed and the opportunity to play this weekend at home. And the theory is to get through that first weekend, then be home for a super regional. Well, the road got rockier, no question, with the loss to St. Mary's yesterday, 6-4. And now they've got to, I think, they've got to find a way to channel the sort of Tug McGraw spirit of 73. You got to believe. One game at a time, try to win. You got to win 4 in a row. It's daunting, but the Beavers have been a very good home club. They worked hard to be at home all year. It starts with Dax Whitney on the mound today, and perhaps an uptick in their offensive attack after 16 strikeouts yesterday and really getting subdued by St. Mary's. But 4 in a row sounds daunting, but it starts with 1 today with Dax Whitney taking the ball and the Beavers trying to bounce back.
Yeah, and even to go farther, Mike, it's even one pitch at a time. I mean, if you think it sounds daunting to win a game here today, this afternoon, boy, you know, what does 4 sound like? So you got to do it one at a time, because it really does sound like a very steep battle to win 4 games. But I will say this. Especially if it was St. Mary's. If you can work your way back to St. Mary's, the back end of their pitching against the back end of the Beavers pitching is a good matchup for Oregon State. But that's way down the road, and it could be USC. It can't be TCU. I mean,
right. This is it.
Yeah. So, Mike, it's just one of those things. Baseball is so odd that way. And I just want to go back, and it wasn't a 13-1 or a 10-1, whatever the score against Irvine was on a Friday night. But the next 2 were wins,
yes.
And that's the way the mentality. And I'm sure Mitch Canham talked about that. Hey, look, we've had a clunker, and then we've come back, and that's been the case on a few occasions. And that's where
right.
Oregon State's mind has to be.
A.J. Hutchison gave the Beavers a good shot to win yesterday's ball game, coming on after the real struggle that Eric Segura had, kind of battling himself and his command, and didn't have his control or command and was out after a third of an inning. A.J. Hutchison came in and went 5 scoreless and pitched extremely well. He's coming up here on our pregame show. We'll also visit with Mitch Canham, who is one of the fine leaders, both as a player and now as the head coach, that Oregon State has ever seen in its athletic history. Pat Casey calling Mitch the most natural leader he had ever coached. So it's Mitch's task to try to continue to lead the guys on the path that begins, as Jimmy just said, 1 pitch at a time today with Dax Whitney against Texas Christian University, which will be trying to return the favor. The Beavers eliminated TCU in Fort Worth 4 years ago when TCU was at home in its own regional as the 6th national seed. The Horned Frogs hope they can pay the Beavers back and eliminate the Beavers here in Corvallis today. So a lot riding on it. AJ knows it. We all know it. We're glad you've joined us. AJ Hutchison coming up next on the Beaver Sports Network from Learfield.
With a great selection of new Toyotas, everyone knows your summer starts here at your Toyota dealer, even your pet parrot.
Right, the summer starts here.
Well said.
Dealer inventory may vary. See your participating Toyota dealer for details. Event ends June 2nd.
Toyota, let's go places.
The Rivalry Series is brought to you by Safeway Albertsons, Pacific Source Health Plans, your local Toyota dealers, and First Interstate Bank. The University of Oregon and Oregon State University want to thank each company for recognizing one of the longest-running sports rivalries in the nation. Ultimately, our student-athletes will benefit the greatest from their tremendous support. The Beavs and Ducks will continue carrying on their historic competitive tradition, going head-to-head across the season, bringing the Rivalry Series to life. Cheer on the Beavs this season to capture the Rivalry Series.
So long! A grand slam for Gavin Turley!
A lot goes into Oregon State athletes reaching peak performance for game day, including the right nutrition. At Wilbur Ellis, we know that healthy crop performance requires the same attention and nutrition as an athlete. That's why we use benchmark data points to maximize crop productivity through nutrient efficiency. For 100 years, family-owned Wilbur Ellis has been partnering with Oregon's farmers to grow healthier crops. That is the winning ag experience for Beaver Nation. Locally provided by Wilbur Ellis.
With a great selection of new Toyotas, everyone knows your summer starts here at your Toyota dealer, even your pet parrot.
Right, the summer starts here.
Well said.
Dealer inventory may vary. See your participating Toyota dealer for details. Event ends June 2nd.
Toyota, let's go places.
It's time to give the home team the advantage. For all your homeowner needs, turn to the Beaver Home Team. Oregon Mutual Insurance and WaFed Bank are your local businesses that have teamed up to provide outstanding service for your local home needs. You can count on Oregon Mutual Insurance and WaFed Bank to help you score big for your home. Check out osubeavers.com/home team to see what the Beaver Home Team can do for you. Go local and go Beavs.
Back at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field, a gorgeous Saturday, great day for baseball, and that's the only way to look at it. As tough as yesterday was, the Beavers relegated to the loser side of the bracket. They're at home, so it just means more home game opportunities for the Beavers to play here in Beaver Nation. A.J. Hutchison, who gave the Beavers a great shot with 5 brilliant innings and a chance to win yesterday's game, kept the team in the game, joins me on the show as we get ready for this afternoon's first pitch from Dax Whitney. AJ, a great outing for you. You had a job to do. You come in, bases loaded, 1 out, 3 already on the board. To be thrust into that early, what were you kind of thinking as you got hot down in the pen in that first inning?
Yeah, thank you. Honestly, when it kind of Eric started struggling, Skip kind of said to me, "Hey, be ready to go if this keeps going." And he ended up going 3-0 to the next guy, and it was go get ready. And so it was kind of unfortunate, the events that happened, but Skip always says, like, the bullpen's like firemen. It's like when there's a fire, it's like you got to get ready and go take care of business, and that's kind of where was my mindset going into it.
Well, you came in and got 2 huge outs, AJ, and then just, I thought, as good. I mean, you've had a lot of good outings, but under the circumstances, to keep you guys in the fight and in the game, how did you feel overall about the outing?
I felt really good, honestly. Yeah, probably one of my best outings this year or my career in general. I felt really good. Everything was working well, kind of just staying in zone. And Dor told me that early on, is stay in zone and you'll have success.
You certainly did. And then when Gavin hit his home run, AJ, I don't know how you felt, the dugout felt. I know the crowd felt. I thought, okay, here we go. You're right back in this thing when Gavin homered. Was that kind of the feel you guys all had in that moment?
Oh, definitely. I mean, I think even with it being 3-0, I think we're all still like, we're going to win this game. And after Gav hit that, it was for sure like that's how everybody felt, and you could feel it around the ballpark. And yeah.
Then they get a clutch 2-out homer that's kind of, baseball's a tough and humbling game. Leif has been brilliant. That's the first home run he's allowed all year. It happens in the game. It can humble you, right? Tell me a little bit about what, as a pitcher, what your mentality has to be if a pitch doesn't get executed properly or whatever, and you have to face some adversity. How do you bounce back from it?
Yeah, honestly, I kind of talked to Leif about it yesterday, but you can throw a good pitch and guys, the offense will have success against it, and you'll throw a bad pitch and you'll get an out. And so kind of just told him, hey, the pitch happened, move on from it, like be ready to go tomorrow.
You have a great deal of pride, all of you, in each other and in this bullpen. And Dax Whitney gets a start, will try to go deep. But now the reality, AJ, you guys got to win 4 straight games. How do you feel about what you have in the pen and the starters to go get that done?
Honestly, I feel great about it. I think our bullpen's ready to go. They have been all year, and everybody's ready to go. It's all hands on deck every single day. And so I think everybody's prepared and everybody's ready to go win.
Yeah, and AJ too. See, now Romero, Laura looking out for us as we conduct the interview. Thanks, Romero. Tell me, beyond just the pitching, the collective mentality of this club and the leadership on it with Wilson and Gavin and Iva and AJ and Trent and everybody else in terms of what you guys collectively believe you're capable of.
Skip kind of has hammered into us, like, we're the one team that's going to be able to do this. All year we've had to go on the road, gone through adversity, and really this whole year was see what the Beavs can do. And so I think that's just another show of that, and we're all capable of doing it, and everybody's just ready to go, ready to win. It's kind of funny. Yesterday, somebody, I think it was Tice, sent in our group chat. It was the 2016, it was a YouTube video, and it was win at all costs. And it was kind of, he sent that late last night, and everybody was texting in our group chat and just like, we're ready to go. Like, this is what we're going to do.
AJ, I like the sound of it. Congratulations on a great outing yesterday. And I bet if, you get into a Monday, perhaps you got something left in you for this regional if necessary.
Of course, yeah. Again, all hands on deck. I'm ready to go.
Thanks, AJ. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
AJ Hutchison with a strong Elk Grove contingent, the Madrigal family, AJ himself. But it's all about the Beavers today, right here in Corvallis, looking to keep their season alive. The Beavers and TCU coming up. Mitch Canham still to come. Thanks for joining us on a gorgeous Saturday on the Beaver Sports Network from Learfield.
Hey, Beaver fans, Oregon State's tradition of excellence is now a winning pairing with Willamette Valley Vineyards Classic Oregon Wine. As a proud wine partner of Oregon State Athletics, we invite you to join us at any of our locations for world-class Pinot Noir, Pacific Northwest-inspired cuisine, and one-of-a-kind events. Learn more and plan your visit at WVV.com. That's WVV.com. Go Beavs!
Weyerhaeuser has operated in Oregon since 1902 and is proud to support local organizations and invest in the future of our communities. This is our home, where hundreds of our employees live, work, and raise families. And we're excited to support Beaver Athletics and our many Oregon State alumni making a difference across the state, in our forest, in our mills, and in our communities. Learn more at WI.com. Go Beavs!
Today's game's Benny's Buddies Pet Spotlight. The official fan club of your favorite pet, brought to you by your local Toyota dealers, is Benny's Buddies member Faith the Horse from Philomath. Faith enjoys galloping around with her mom Mallory and attending rodeos during the summer. Sign up your pet today at OSUBeavers.com/Benny's Buddies. Each member gets an official social media filter, and Oregon State will be giving away collars, leashes, treats, toys, and so much more.
Searching for a job, a mentor, or a candidate to fill your open vacancy? Find what you're looking for with alumni from Oregon State University. OSU Connections is a networking and career site exclusively for OSU alumni and students. List your Beaver-owned business in a directory, browse or post on the job board, talk to an OSU grad working at your dream company, or seek out advice as you change industries. Leverage your network at osukconnections.org.
Mike Parker and Jim Wilson from the McGrath Family Press Box, the Corvallis Regional Game 3 and the first elimination game in this regional for the Beavers. They're 11th, going back to 2005, the 12th all-time at home, and 11 since the 2005 season. Jim and I have had the pleasure of working together for all 11 Corvallis regionals and are hopeful to be working again here next weekend. But there is indeed a challenging road ahead. Today's Nutrition Report is brought to you by Wilbur Ellis, one of the most popular breakfast foods, and we had a nice meal in the Darwin Barney Alumni Players Lounge, which has been converted to a media room and more important, a food room. And we had a nice broccoli dish this morning. Well, super nutrient-dense food broccoli helps athletes go the distance. Our friends at Wilbur Ellis are helping nutritional crops like broccoli to increase nutrient absorption through innovative approaches. That's good news for the farmer and the athlete. Contact Wilbur Ellis today and chart your course for the winning ag experience. It's time to get to our matchup history in our pregame show ahead of the 12:06 first pitch, presented by Holland America. Discover cruise deals at hollandamerica.com. This is the 6th meeting all-time between the Beavers and Horned Frogs. All 5 games previously have been in Fort Worth. The Beavers split a doubleheader down there in 1993. TCU went 2-0 and eliminated the Beavers in the 2009 Fort Worth Regional. But then the Beavers came back and eliminated the Horned Frogs 4 years ago in the Fort Worth Regional. An exciting game, a 3-2 OSU win over TCU, the 6th national seed that eliminated the Horned Frogs. Wade Meckler, a 2-run single, and then Justin Boyd, an RBI single in the top of the ninth. Mitchell Verberg came on in the bottom of the ninth and closed it. Faced 3 hitters and struck out the side. Beavers 3, Horned Frogs 2 in the last meeting between the two teams. And Jim, it's not baseball, but when we think TCU and the state of Texas, we were talking off the air, something else occurs to you between the Beavers and TCU.
That's right. In 2010, the Beaver football team opened the season in Fort Worth, Texas, or Dallas, Texas. It's now AT&T Stadium, but Jerry's World, whatever it was called at the time. The Beavers lost that game. They led 7-0, but lost 30-21. But that was a really good experience.
It was. It was a great experience, even though the Beavers came out on a losing end. A good football game, as I recall.
And the best napkin I've ever had in a press box.
Oh.
Those cowboy napkins, and they were like cloth, and I took one with me.
Okay, good for you. I may have to report the statute of limitations may be over on that one, but I'm glad you've at least reported it here now. No comment from yours truly. Now, discover cruise deals at hollandamerica.com, a proud partner of OSU Athletics. See more glaciers in Alaska with Holland America than any other cruise line. Book your Alaska vacation today at hollandamerica.com. 71 degrees. We are at what's predicted to be the high temperature for the day right now, even a little before high noon. We'll take a look at the starting lineups and the starting pitcher matchup next. The Beavers and TCU, an elimination affair here at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field. More coming up after this on the Beaver Sports Network from Learfield.
Pacific Office Automation is an official sponsor of Oregon State Athletics. Let us help you create your total office solution with copiers and printers, security systems and cameras, managed IT and cloud services, unified communications and telephones, including carrier services, plus temperature sensing kiosks and more. The one source for all your office technology solutions. Go to PacificOffice.com. Pacific Office Automation. Problem solved.
Facing cancer requires comprehensive care and support. The Samaritan Cancer Program has board-certified providers who specialize in treating all cancer types. We have your care needs covered every step of the way. Beyond treatment, the Samaritan Cancer Program provides you with nutrition services, financial advocacy, emotional support, resources, and more. Join us in being healthier together, because your fight against cancer deserves the best. Visit samhealth.org/cancer.
At Builders First Source, we're proud to be the nation's largest supplier of home building materials with 14 locations in Oregon and Southwest Washington. Our team is driven to deliver for our customers and help solve today's toughest challenges. We offer expert advice as you shop our extensive selection of lumber, siding, windows and doors, roof trusses, decking, and more for your next project. You can count on Builders First Source to minimize your build times, maximize efficiency, and deliver what you need when you need it. Go to BLDR.com to find a location near you.
From forestry, construction, material handling to trucking, no matter what industry you're in, Pape has the equipment and services to keep you moving. As a family-owned and operated business for 85 years, Pape is committed to providing consistent quality customer service. This commitment is what makes Pape the premier capital equipment provider in the West. Pape is a proud sponsor of OSU Athletics. Go Beavs!
Back in the McGrath family press box, let's take a look at the starting lineups for both clubs today. First of all, for the TCU Horned Frogs, under fourth-year head coach, former Major League pitcher Kirk Saarloos. He's been with the program since 2012 and has been the pitching coach and pitching guy for, in fact, a 4 straight years run to Omaha under Kirk Saarloos' watch as the pitching coach. Between 2014 and 2017, he succeeded Jim Schlossnagel as the head coach, now in his 4th season. This is his lineup. Leading off at third base, the son of Buddy Bell, Jack Bell at third. Not the Buddy Bell, but another Buddy Bell. Batting second, the designated hitter, Sawyer Strohsnyder. Batting third, the second baseman, former Cougar, Washington State Cougar, Cole Kramer. Former LB, Roadrunner, Lynn Benton Community College, Cole Kramer in the 3-hole at second base. Noah Franco, the cleanup hitter in right. Chase Brunson batting 5th in center. Nolan Traeger hitting 6th and catching. Anthony Silva batting 7th at shortstop. Isaac Cadena hitting 8th and left. He had a brother that just came through here for Long Beach State University that you saw, Jimmy. Batting 9th at first base, Brody Green. And freshman left-hander, and a good one, Mason Brassfield on the mound. More on Mason in a moment. For 6th-year head coach Mitch Canham and the Beavers, the same lineup as yesterday. Leading off in right field, a guy coming back with his stroke, Easton Toll. Iva Arquette in the 2-hole at shortstop. Gavin Turley, 1 RBI shy now, becoming the all-time RBI leader at Oregon State. Gavin Turley, a 2-run homer yesterday to pull even with Michael Conforto, 179 career RBIs. Wilson Weber, the cleanup hitter and catcher. A.J. Singer batting 5th at second base. Cannon Reeder hitting 6th in center. Trent Caraway batting 7th at third base. Jacob Craig hitting 8th, the DH. Tice Peterson batting 9th at first base. And right-handed freshman Dax Whitney on the mound, a record of 5-3, an ERA of 3.86, which brings us to our starting pitcher matchup brought to you by Seven Feathers Casino Resort. Seven Feathers, your place to play. Big Jimmy, a little thought from you on Dax, but what we may know, we're going to learn more here in a moment, but about the left-handed freshman for TCU, Mason Brassfield.
It's 2 freshmen battling in the elimination game right here in the Corvallis Regional. Additionally, there's 3 starters, and 3 of their better players are true freshmen for TCU. But the freshman matchup on the mound, the numbers are very similar in terms of Brassfield has a better record, 5-1, better ERA at 3.56. But Dax's numbers are respectable at 5.3 and 3.86. Whitney has more strikeouts. In his 60 innings, he struck out 89, whereas Brassfield, in same amount of innings, 60.2, has 67 strikeouts. Both of them very solid numbers. I'm most impressed with the ERA in the 3s.
We'll learn more about what the Beavers are up against in Mason Brassfield. Mitch Canham breaks down the stuff for the young man and thinks that we might see a little more percentage of what he usually throws based on the scouting report the TCU had on the Beavers yesterday, and the Beavs struggles with a change against St. Mary's Dylan Delvecchio in the 16 strikeout, 6-4 loss. Head coach Mitch Canham coming up next on the Beaver Sports Network from Learfield. Hit a home run today by joining Oregon State Credit Union, where your money works harder for you. Enjoy member-focused financial advice and saving money with competitive rates and fees. We started at Oregon State University and we're still the official credit union of Oregon State Athletics. Join Oregon State Credit Union today. Visit one of our 15 branches or join online at OregonStateCU.com/join.
At Les Schwab, we've been changing the tire game for more than 70 years. Our Go the Extra Mile service means more hustle, less hassle. We design our own exclusive tires to give you more tires made for the road you drive, less compromise. All backed by America's best tire warranty included with every tire we sell. We're talking more unbeatable tire warranty, less charging you extra, like the other guys. It's why you get more from less. Book an appointment at leschwab.com.
If you know your party's extension, press or say 1. To leave a message in our company mailbox, press or say 2. Spoiler alert, it will be full.
Representative.
Would you speak to your mother in that tone?
Speak to a real human being.
You shouldn't need to shout into the void to get your health insurance questions answered.
Pacific Source Health Plans. This is a real person. How can I help you?
Human service, not automated phone trees.
Hey, Beaver Nation. Here at Mr. Plywood, we know what it means to build. Locally owned and operated for over 50 years, Mr. Plywood goes beyond building decks, storage sheds, and fences. We help build the community. We offer family-style customer service with a friendly and knowledgeable staff that will help you with your next project. If you need hardwoods, plywood, fasteners, or help planning your next project, come down and pay us a visit. We would love to help you on your next project.
Back on a gorgeous Saturday, Goss Stadium at Coleman Field. The Beavers and TCU coming up. We're joined by head coach Mitch Canham, brought to you by the Beaver Home Team, Oregon Mutual Insurance, and WaFd Bank, teaming up locally to support their community. Proud sponsors of the home team. Go local and go Bees. Mitch, thanks for taking time as always. You guys have been through so much in this 2025 season. I heard you say to reporters and so on after the game, hey, it's nothing new to kind of be dealing with some adversity and tough times, which you're facing clearly after losing a ball game yesterday. But can you win a bunch of games in a row in this ballpark? I think the answer is yes. It starts with one. So what are your thoughts as you come back to the ballpark here today?
Yeah, not hiding away from what happened yesterday. Obviously, offensively, just not our game. Unacceptable. Striking out 16 times, having a good game plan in place, but not being able to go out and execute, definitely frustrating. However, that's what this is now. It's not like failure until the job is over, and then you get to really understand what you're up against. Our guys played tight yesterday, top to bottom. It was, timid. We're out front. We know the guy throws a lot of change-ups. We know he works away, and we're bringing balls to the left side, but just loosening it up. Maybe the environment of day one, maybe you got to get out those jitters or whatever. It sucks that it has to come to that was part of our actions yesterday in the game. However, the early game today, getting those guys in the office, excited to go watch these guys attack BP with line drive mentality. Brassfield's a good pitcher that we're going to be facing today. He's got a good fastball, a good swing and miss slider. And so we have to have a lot of discipline with balls in the zone and taking the stuff out of the zone. And, really, again, it comes down to play and lose confidence. If you don't have confidence, you will get paralyzed and you will make very poor decisions. And obviously, from top to bottom, how we pitched. The only innings they scored when we allowed free bases, and they capitalized on them. But we also had a lot of opportunities to get the job done on offense as well. And my anticipation, as always, is to put up a ton of runs because I know what these guys are capable of, Mike. So, it's difficult in the moment to accept that, okay, we're going through the loser's bracket. But from personal experience, I know what kind of story that tells, and I know the opportunity to inspire and do great things. And so that's always the expectation with our guys.
When you mentioned Brassfield, just a quick thing, you talk about fastball slider. Where is he with the changeup? Because, that pitch yesterday was a little problematic. Does he have a good one, too?
He's thrown 6% on the year and only to righties. Not saying he won't try to use that today. I mean, we've seen a lot of those times where we have a scouting report and guys go, man, he's throwing a lot more off speed. He's throwing, and we know that teams are going to do that with us, throw more off speed because we're a really good fastball hitting team. And so as of right now, it's like focusing on hunting the heater, middle of the zone. Their catcher sets up middle and lets their guy work for each of their pitchers. And so for us, it's not trying to do too much and worry about pull side shoot. Mike, yesterday the wind was kind of breezing out to right center. And I was like, this is perfect. That's our approach today. And we got a little help from the wind. But when we started hitting balls to the left side, that was alarming. And I think, again, if we're going to be successful today against Brassfield, it is knowing that he's going to go 50-50 fastball slider, maybe even higher on the slider side. But in zone, he only throws 41% of his sliders in zone. Yet he throws 63% strikes on paper with his slider. So that tells me he throws stuff out of the zone guys chase. We have to be disciplined.
Right. That sounds like a great and detailed game plan in the approach today. And while you mentioned the elements yesterday, there was a moment, even in a tough loss, there were great moments, I thought, for your team that you can build off of, including Gavin Turley. 2 outs, nobody on. Arquette smashes a base hit, and then Gavin hits one out, getting a little bit of help, but it was a great swing, wasn't it, by Gavin to use those elements.
Is that the RBI tying record right there, too? I mean, outstanding, and he didn't feel like he got all of it too, but to hit a breaking ball out to right center, that told me he was ready to hit and he was sticking with his approach. That was a big piece of how he's worked since the fall, of coming in and using all fields as opposed to just pull side. And very impressive, the development that Gavin's made. And hey, Mike, even at the very end of the game, we got Dallas Macias up, who's a big time gamer, and he's the tying run. And we still felt like we're in position to always be in that game. But sometimes you really got to get punched in the face a couple times, but show the respect for yourself and others by getting up off the mat before the 10 counts up and go out there and fight. And then you give yourself a chance. And I know that statistically speaking, the odds are against the team losing the first game to do it, but who cares? Who gives a dang? Like I could share all these stats and numbers with you about all this crud, but none of that matters. It's just like batting average doesn't matter. None of that. I mean, we go out and win that game yesterday. No one cares about a guy punching out 2-3 times. No one cares about, Segura leaving the game in the first. None of that. And this is all just opportunity. It's the only way to look at it and go at it with intensity. And being 9:54 in the morning right now, I've been up since 6. Went to bed pretty late after doing some studies, and the energy level is at an all-time high.
The late, great Jim Bouton eloquently put it a long time ago. One of his chapters in the book, Ball 4, was entitled, Tell Your Statistics to Shut Up. So, that's sometimes the approach you got to take, although the numbers you gave us with Brassfield, there's a place for numbers and knowing percentages and all of that, but I understand what you're saying. Mitch, last couple of things, and that is the other thing that yesterday highlighted for me, 2 guys who've been working so hard to get their stroke back. We saw Trent Caraway absolutely pummel the ball, another home run, and then Easton Paul with a triple down the right field line. So those are both good signs, too.
And there's no doubt. That was the way Trent's a big-time gamer, and he just had to make a couple small adjustments. I think he's in a really good spot. And, again, when he got, punched in the face from not having the success, he learned from it. He continue to put in even more work than he's ever done before and studying what exactly is going on. And so I'm very proud of him for how he handled that whole situation. I'm very proud of Dallas on how he's handled the entirety of this season and trying to make adjustments and be there and be a great teammate. And same with Talt. We know what he's capable of. He started off hot as anybody ever, and his on-base percentage is still, upper 400s. And so just chipping away, finding ways to get all these guys to click at the same time, which is very difficult. but also highly possible.
Yeah. And the final thing, then, we'll close with the thought about Dax Whitney and how much I'm sure he's excited about the opportunity today to go out and cut it loose, right, and just be the dude that he's been all year, and in this ballpark in particular.
Yeah, I'm excited to watch him go pitch. What an incredible young man. And I tell the guys all the time, man, just love yourself, respect yourself, be proud of yourself, because you chose to be here. You chose to get up at 5 o'clock and go to weights each and every day. You chose to bust your butt at practice and pour into this community and this program. So allow yourself the freedom to go out and be successful and give it everything you have. And Dax is a huge piece of that, with how he showed up, why he showed up, and how he goes about his business every day. So everyone's excited to see him throw.
We are too, Mitch. Thanks for the time, as always. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Mike. Go Beefs.
Mitch Canham joining me. We plan on doing that again tomorrow here in the Corvallis Regional, but we got it in today on a gorgeous, sunny, clear blue sky day in the Mid-Valley. We hope you're on your way to the ballpark, and we'll settle in as the Beavers and TCU square off in an elimination game with a hope to get to Sunday to keep their postseason hopes alive. Thanks for joining us. The first pitch from Dax around the corner at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field next on the Beaver Sports Network from Learfield.
If you know your party's extension, press or say 1. To leave a message in our company mailbox, press or say 2. Spoiler alert, it will be full.
Representative.
Would you speak to your mother in that tone?
Speak to a real human being.
You shouldn't need to shout into the void to get your health insurance questions answered.
Pacific Source Health Plans. This is a real person. How can I help you?
Human service, not automated phone trees.
With McValue at McDonald's, you don't just get deals on the drinks. You get deals on McDonald's drinks. So when you're breaking a sweat, embrace the chill without breaking the bank. And when your crew is running on empty, keep your wallet full while refreshing the squad.
Get more than you expect on your favorite medium drinks, like frozen Fanta Blue Raspberry, iced coffee, or lemonade, now at just $2.29. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Pacific Power is proud to support Oregon State athletics by providing the safe, reliable energy that lights our campus, keeps our laptops charged, and powers opportunities every day. From the classroom to the weight room, from groundbreaking research labs to Research Stadium, Pacific Power is always there to help propel our students and our community forward. Pacific Power, powering your greatness. Let's go Beavs!
Hit a home run today by joining Oregon State Credit Union, where your money works harder for you. Enjoy member-focused financial advice and saving money with competitive rates and fees. We started at Oregon State University, and we're still the official credit union of Oregon State Athletics. Join Oregon State Credit Union today. Visit one of our 15 branches or join online at OregonStateCU.com/join.
On the Beaver Sports Network from Learfield.
Hurley hammers it. There's your 11-10 on its way. So long. Comes to the plate, swung on and missed. Strike 3. The inning is over. Drive to right center field. Temesbury going back, looking up, on its way. So long.
Beaver Baseball is brought to you by Oregon State Credit Union, the official credit union of OSU Athletics. Safeway. Stop into Safeway, your exclusive grocery partner of Oregon State Athletics. The Barbers, where guys go for great cuts. And by Pacific Office Automation. Problem solved. PacificOffice.com. Play ball! Now let's get ready for the first pitch.
Dax Whitney delivering a first pitch strike to the left-hand hitting third baseman Jack Bell, getting ahead 0-1. A better start thus than yesterday. Comes back and misses on a 1-1 pitch. A changeup swung on and missed to run it to 1-2. And then Dax, Big Jim Wilson, just executed a fastball for a called third strike, and already a better start for the Beavers than yesterday against St. Mary's College. One pitch in yesterday, Nick Madrigal's cousin Eddie was on first base and scored the first of 3 runs. Dax goes to work now on Sawyer Strohsnyder. Misses with a first pitch breaking ball. The left-hand hitting Stroh-Snyder, one of those talented freshmen you alluded to earlier, swings and sprays one foul down the left field line to even the count. Had 1 ball and 1 strike. Sawyer at .352, 11 homers, 51 runs batted in. Dax Whitney back to the plate. The pride of Blackfoot, Idaho, sails the fastball high and away. 2 balls and 1 strike as we get underway in an elimination game between the Beavers and Horned Frogs, the first ever meeting between these two programs in Corvallis, the previous 5 in Fort Worth. 2-1 pitch, misses outside, ball 3, 3-1 to Stroh-Snyder, who is also a threat, as are so many in the TCU lineup when he gets on base. Texas Christian University, relentless on the base paths and in the running game, 100 or more stolen bases in 3 of the last 4 years. The 3-1 fastball, a strike, and the count 3-2 to Stroh-Snyder. Before we see what happens on the payoff pitch, and we'll wait for it, and then we'll give our stations a station ID opportunity with Dax Whitney striking out Jack Bell to open the game. Now comes 3-2 to Stroh-Snyder. A changeup is swung on and missed, dropped by Wilson Weber, but he throws down to first to Tice Peterson for the out. 2-3 on the second straight McDonald strikeout for Dax Whitney, off to a good start. We'll talk about what Jimmy's seen early from Dax with Cole Kramer, the former Washington State Cougar, coming to the plate. But first, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is Beaver Baseball from Learfield. Dax to the plate, and the freshman out of Blackfoot, Idaho, delivers a fastball to a guy from Arlington, Washington. Began his career at Lynn Benton Community College. Cole Kramer, the strike 1 pitch, missing outside, and the count 1-1. 2 years at LBCC under Andy Peterson. Andy's Roadrunner Club just won its second straight NWAC championship and third in the last 4 years within the last couple of weeks. Fastball from Dax down and away, the count 2-1, and then went from LB to Washington State, where last year Cole Kramer, Jimmy, was an all Pac-12 player.
Yeah. Local in Arlington, you always go through Arlington, right? On the way to Pullman.
The 2-1 pitch, down and away, ball 3, 3-1. Dax came back from 3-1 to Stroh-Snyder, and he's again behind 3-1 now to Cole Kramer. 2 outs, nobody on. Back-to-back strikeouts to open the game for freshman Dax Whitney, working with battery mate Wilson Weber. The 3-1 pitch, sprayed foul down the right field line to run it to 3-2 around the infield. Tice Peterson at first, A.J. Singer at second, Iva Arquette at short, Trent Caraway at third, Gavin Turley in left, Cannon Reeder in center, Easton Tolt in right. 3-2, 2 down, nobody on, top of the first. Dax Whitney, with the fans getting behind him, rocks, kicks, and delivers, and that's hit foul off to the right and out of play. Yesterday at this time in the top of the first, the lack of command and control, the Beavers were in a hole early. Dax looks like he's intent on filling up the zone.
Yeah, I think he set the tempo a little bit, and like you said, he was at 3-1, and I wasn't just worried.
The 3-2 pitch, fastball, foul tipped and held by Wilson Weber. Strike 3. Dax Whitney strikes out the side to open this elimination game against TCU, and Beaver Nation on their feet, saluting the young man, the pride of Blackfoot, Idaho.
Well, that's what I'm saying about setting the tempo. Can't do it any better than that.
Dax Whitney faces 3, strikes out 3. A little bit different beginning than yesterday. We go to the bottom of the first. TCU nothing. The Beavers coming up on the Beaver Sports Network from Learfield.
As a locally owned company celebrating 25 years in business, the Barbers are excited to support the Oregon State Beavers. Come in and get the works. A full-service experience including a precise haircut, relaxing shampoo, scalp massage, and a hot lather neck shave by the most experienced barbers around. When it comes to men's grooming, nothing beats a true barbershop experience. Come and get yourself ready for game days. Book same-day appointments now online by visiting thebarbersonline.com. The Barbers, where guys go for great cuts.
Take your business to the next level in 2025 with the tools and services to make running your business smooth and easy. WaFd Bank is here to help make it happen with options like credit cards, term loans, lines of credit, and cash flow tools like FinSync, so you get paid in hours, not weeks. It's never been easier to get the funding and tools you need to grow your business and meet your goals. Take on the new year with a best bank. Visit wafedbank.com or your local branch and find out why they were awarded Best Bank by Newsweek 3 years in a row. Member FDIC, loans subject to credit approval.
Bottom of the first inning, Dax Whitney, the tone setter, the young man out of Blackfoot. There's a fine story, by the way, that I commend unto you as we go to the bottom of the first. Dax striking out the side. The Beavers will face now the freshman left-hander, Mason Brassfield for TCU. Easton Tolt, Iva Arquette, and Gavin Turley coming up. My friend Spencer Newell, a freelance writer, has contributed an article you can find on beaverblitz.com, Angie Machado's great site. It's part of the family of 24/7 Sports, but Spencer has a story on Beaver Blitz about Dax Whitney and his approach and his preparation, and about how, according to Spencer and Dax himself, Dax has a younger brother, Deacon, who's already using some sort of Google Doc or whatever, plotting his own path to follow Big Brother to the Oregon State program someday. But Dax Whitney, Jim, set a great tone for the Beavers on the bump. It just feels a lot different already as we go to the bottom of the first today.
It does. As I'm watching his freshman counterpart, Mason Brassfield, he showed a fastball, 90-91. He showed a slider and a bit of a curveball, taking a little more off. And that's the one I think that is getting chased out of the zone, is that curveball.
Easton Tolt will step in yesterday against Dylan Delvecchio, who was brilliant on the bump, the left-hander for St. Mary's. Easton takes a strike from Brassfield, 0-1 the count. Tolt pulled a triple down the right field line in the corner against Delvecchio, and that ultimately chased Dylan as the Beavers were trying to come back from a 6-2 deficit, ultimately succumbed 6-4. Brassfield strike one pitch. Tolt swings, and it's a high pop foul off third, playable for Jack Bell. Looking up into the partly cloudy sky, but warm. Some breezes blowing a little bit that could factor as we go. Bell makes the catch in foul grounds. One away, and Iva Arquette to the plate. The Beavers clearly yesterday struggled offensively, striking out a season high equaling 16 times. They had a 16 punch-out game early in the year against Virginia. But in striking out 16 times yesterday, they did have some good moments, and in fact it was Iva Arquette who kind of led the way to the comeback trail for the Beavers, down 3-0. Iva takes low, ball one from Brassfield, 1-0 the count. A base hit to left, followed by a two-run home run by Gavin Turley. Ground ball fair past the diving Jack Bell down the left field line in the corner. Arquette led the way yesterday, and he's doing so again today. The ball retrieved by Isaac Cadena in the left field corner, and Arquette into second with a double.
I mentioned to you off air, in the field, Iva Arquette wears sunglasses, and I thought, man, I wonder if he hits with them, because I don't remember. He does not hit with the sunglasses. It'd be a difficult. Some people wear those glasses that sort of illuminate, make things brighter, and I always understood that. But boy, hitting with sunglasses, and so many players do now. I can't read. Like, if you ever read a text or something, you can't read it with sunglasses, so you take them off. It's got to be the same with a baseball.
Gavin Turley steps in. He hopes to make history in this at-bat, and he has an opportunity to do so. He takes a breaking ball from Mason Brassfield, the freshman left-hander, down and in, ball one. A one-out double for Iva Arquette. No score. Bottom of the first inning. At the moment, Michael Conforto and Gavin Turley share the career RBI lead at Oregon State with 179. Turley on the fastball, fouls it straight back. The count 1-1. It was a record-tying two-run homer yesterday for Gavin to get to 179. Jimmy, it would be a great moment for Gavin to get to 180, but more important, to give the Beavers the early lead.
Both of them big, but right now Oregon State in dire need of something good to happen early.
Iva Arquette at second, the 1-1 pitch to Gavin, misses down and in, ball 2-1. I thought yesterday's ball game, even though it was very disappointing in many respects, showed just the maturation as a guy that's become a complete hitter and ball player. Gavin Turley's game yesterday. Now he's looking for a record-setting RBI here with Brassfield, the lefty set, the 2-1 pitch, a little bit high and inside, ball three, and that's an example of what we're talking about too. His command of the strike zone has improved so much through his career.
I mean, he still struck out a little bit, but the increase in walks, 43 walks, that's what drives the batting average up.
Standing in at 337, 16 homers, 59 runs batted in, and he takes the 3-1 fastball high and away for ball 4. Wilson Weber will come to the plate. A little more on Brassfield's numbers. The Beavers with 2 on, 1 out, no score, bottom of the first. Mason at 5-1, an ERA of 3.56. This is his 7th start. He's worked 60 2/3, allowed 55 hits, walked only 21, 67 strikeouts. So he too
his numbers are pretty
has
strong.
filled up the zone.
Pretty strong. 17 appearances, only 6 starts. So, I mean, it's not like he was the starter all year long.
2 on, 1 out. Wilson Weber, the batter. Arquette at second, Turley at first, no score. The pitch to Wilson, hit high and deep to center.
Goodness.
Back goes Brunson to the track, to the fence. So long! A 3-run homer for Wilson Weber. The Beavers lead it 3-0.
Mike, you could probably count on one hand the number of home runs you've seen hit to dead center in this ballpark. And in my mind, that was gone the minute he hit it. I mean, he absolutely crushed that ball. And a moment ago I said, you know, the Beavers, a team really needing something good. Well, there's the converse to that. Both of these teams are really trying to avoid something bad, because this is a team that lost 13-1 yesterday and now down 3-0 in the first.
The Beavers trailed 3-0 going to the bottom of the first yesterday, and it was an uphill climb all day long, and they ultimately were not able to get to the top. They lost 6-4, but now they're up 3-0 in the bottom of the first. A.J. Singer taking strike 1 from Mason Brassfield. The 0-1 pitch to the Beavers' second baseman is in there for strike 2. 0-2 the count. A 3-run homer for Wilson Weber, who has been absolutely on fire down the stretch of the year. That's a gigantic hit for the Beavs. A.J. chops one foul. The count remains 0-2.
You mentioned Turley and the career. You know, that's a big deal. And a smaller deal, but it's a big deal for Wilson to get that RBI, to go. He had 49, you know, to go, whatever, 332, 11 now, and 52. I mean, that really, those are round numbers. It's like hitting 29 doubles and a triple. Should have stopped at second and get to 30 doubles.
The pitch to A.J. missing down and in. 1-2 the count. 3-0 Beavers, bottom of the first. Brassfield sails the 1-2 pitch away to even the count to A.J. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Singer at 313, 2 homers, 33 runs batted in. A.J. was 0 for 4 yesterday with a couple of strikeouts. But the Beavers have come back in a big way here today so far. A.J. swings and misses at a breaking ball diving down and in. Good pitch. Tough pitch. Strike 3, 2 down, and Cannon Reeder, the batter. Jimmy, ultimately that pitch missed the strike zone. Had he taken, it's probably a ball, but what Mitch Canham talked about was Brassfield can get you to chase.
That was a good pitch.
Yeah.
I don't think you can let that pitch go. I mean, it's coming in. It's got a third of the plate. By the time it's over, it may be inside, but the best thing you can do is just foul that off hard.
Cannon Reeder steps in, first pitch fastball, coming in at 94, so there is that, too, in there for a strike. 0-1 the count. But the Beavers, if you're just settling in and joining us, a 1-out double for Iva Arquette. Gavin Turley drew a walk, and Wilson Weber blasts a 3-run homer. 3-0 Beavers, bottom of the first. And now Cannon Reeder whacks one by the diving shortstop, Anthony Silva, into left field. Isaac Cadena gets the ball back in. A 2-out single for Cannon. And Trent Carraway, who's beginning to show some signs of resurgence at the plate, makes his way to the plate here with 2 down.
Mike, I think that was a changeup, and I think it was the second changeup he's thrown. I thought that there was one pitch in there to Singer. It was off speed, but I didn't see the movement. And same with this pitch right here. So he is starting to mix the changeup in just a little bit.
Joey Wong coaching at third for the Beavers. Brady Casper at first, visiting with Cannon Reeder, who will run from time to time. He's 4 for 6 in stolen bases. Carraway, who pummeled a home run to left field yesterday, takes a strike. The count 0-1. Trent has homered in each of his last 2 games now, so indeed signs perhaps of Trent's bat coming back to life. The strike 1 pitch swung on and missed, and he's down in the count 0-2. Cannon Reeder at first, 2 down. It's Mason Brassfield and Nolan Traeger, the battery for the Horned Frogs. Brody Green at first, Cole Kramer at second, Anthony Silva at short, Jack Bell at third, Cadena in left, Chase Brunson in center, Noah Franco in right. A throw to first and Reeder back to the bag. The home plate umpire today, Nate Huber. Blake Felix, the first base umpire. Derek Malika at second. Chris Clint, at third base. 330 down both lines, 365 to the alleys, 400 feet to straightaway center. Reeder goes. The pitch is high and outside. The throw to second on a hop is in time for the out, and Reeder is caught stealing to end the inning. Good throw. Anthony Silva played it on a hop and slapped the tag down, and that's that for the Beavers. But that was very good.
Yeah.
The Beavers get 3 in the bottom of the first. We go to the second in this elimination game. Good start for Dax Whitney on the mound and for the Beavers at the plate. After 1 on the Wilson Weber 3-run blast. The Beavers 3, the Horned Frogs nothing on the Beaver Sports Network from Learfield.
At Builders First Source, we're proud to be the nation's largest supplier of home building materials with 14 locations in Oregon and Southwest Washington. Our team is driven to deliver for our customers and help solve today's toughest challenges. We offer expert advice as you shop our extensive selection of lumber, siding, windows and doors, roof trusses, decking, and more for your next project. You can count on Builders First Source to minimize your build times, maximize efficiency, and deliver what you need when you need it. Go to BLDR.com to find a location near you.
Okay, you say, I want some breakfast. Your so-called boyfriend says, we got eggs in the fridge. Obviously, when you say breakfast, you mean McDonald's. Definitely a side-eye situation.
Forget that boring breakfast. Buy a breakfast sandwich at McDonald's, like a sausage McMuffin with egg, and get another one for just $1. Prices and participation may vary. Limited time only. Valid for item of equal or lesser value.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Beaver Baseball is brought to you by Pacific Office Automation. Local people respond. Local people make decisions. Local people make sure you're happy. Pacific Office Automation, problem solved, and I dare say locals are a little happier right now than yesterday after 1 inning in the books. The Beavers 3 and Texas Christian University nothing as we go to the second. Dax Whitney struck out the side to open this ball game, and now we'll face Noah Franco. Noah will be followed by Chase Brunson and then Nolan Traeger, the catcher. And by the way, you were impressed by the mechanics and arm of Traeger in BP, in infield, and right there.
Yeah, no, that was catch and throw because Reeder had a pretty good jump. And Brassfield is not particularly fast to home plate, but boy, did the catcher make up for it.
Dax Whitney to the plate. Franco, another one of the talented freshmen for Coach Kirk Sarlos, the 7-year major leaguer. The head coach, Bill Mosiello, coaches at third. John DeLora at first. Mosiello calls the offense. The first pitch to Franco misses from Dax. And now the 1-0 pitch is down and in from Dax Whitney. 2 balls and no strikes to Noah Franco, a two-way player. 319, 11 homers, 49 runs batted in. Big 12 all-tournament team. A guy that's been dreaming about the big stage for a long time. He takes the 2-0 pitch high from Dax, ball 3. 3-0, the first 3-0 count of this young ball game for Dax, who came back from 2 3-1 counts for strikeouts in the first. Now his 3-0 pitch to Franco on the inside corner for a strike, and the count 3-1. At the age of 14. You saw that note, too, that Noah Franco moved from his hometown of Downey, California, to Florida to go to the IMG Academy there. The 3-1 pitch swung on and pounded foul off his front foot. The count 3-2, and he's a good-looking baseball player.
Yes, he is. I mean, in the numbers, as a true freshman, he plays the outfield. 332 with the 11 home runs.
3-0 Beavers, top of the second inning. Dax trying to come all the way back from 3-0. Now the 3-2 pitch. Breaking ball, swung on and missed. The pitch gets away from Wilson Weber. He lines up, throws to first in time for the out. 4 straight strikeouts for Dax Whitney, and he's done it the hard way, Jimmy, on the last 3. 3-1, 3-1, back-to-back strikeouts to end the first. 3-0, comes back to get Noah Franco on the strikeout. 4 straight punch-outs for Dax, 1 away. Chase Brunson, the batter.
Yeah, he's got to get back to where he started against Jack Bell, the leadoff hitter. Started him out 0-2. Or no, it wasn't. Maybe 1-2.
Yeah.
0-1, 1-1, 1-2. Here we go, get ahead right here.
He
with
does
the strike.
on Brunson, a first pitch fastball strike, 0-1 the count, 1 out. A few clouds have moved in overhead. It's been blue sky for the most part, scattered clouds, but a little bit darker here. Goss Stadium at Coleman Field. The strike 1 pitch, fastball foul back, 0-2 the count. And Jimmy, what do you make of the way the flags are blowing, the wind, and the possible factor it could be? Did Wilson,
center, I think, is
Wilson didn't need help, but he may have gotten a little push.
It didn't hurt him because he was dead center. I think the wind is going to be more left center.
The strike 2 pitch from Whitney, fastball hit foul to the right. That beaver flag beyond the left center field fence, Jimmy, does appear to be blowing pretty hard out towards left center field.
Out there, I know. Hey, I mentioned at the time of the home run how many off the top of your head do you remember? Dead center, though. I mean, you would obviously there's long home runs, but that's not what I'm talking about. How many actually dead center?
The strike 2 pitch, foul back by Chase Brunson. More in the modern era, but the most memorable one I can think of in a big circumstance here, a Friday night game, Washington and Oregon State. Dallas Buck against Tim Lincecum. And Cole Gillespie hit a 95-mile-an-hour fastball to dead center field for a 3-run homer to give the Beavers the lead in the first. The pitch to Brunson, whacked to left, chased down by Gavin Turley at the base of the fence in straightaway left field, and Chase Brunson races into second base with a 1-out double. The first base runner for the Horned Frogs. Brunson, a .318 hitter with 12 homers and 46 runs batted in. And he's a threat to run, too. 9 for 9 in stolen bases with the left-hand hitting freshman Nolan Traeger, the catcher whom we've been extolling, coming to the plate.
That was just a breaking ball that Dax left on the inside half, and give credit to Chase Brunson, who just hammered it to left.
Whitney to the plate, fastball fouled straight back. No balls and 1 strike. Whitney has been excellent in this ballpark. 1 earned run at Goss now through 22 1/3 innings. Just 10 hits allowed, and through the 20 2/3 with the 4 strikeouts here. 33 punch-outs in his 22 1/3 innings here at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field.
Kind of keep a
strike 1 pitch just missed, in the count 1-1.
Running total. He's got 93 on the season. Love to see him finish at 100 at least today. That'd be nice.
3-0 Beavers, top of the second inning. A 3-run home run from Wilson Weber in the first. Dax Whitney yielding a 1-out double to Brunson. The left-hand hitting Traeger takes very high in the breaking ball that didn't come down for Dax. And the count goes to 2-1.
He hasn't really found the command yet with the breaking ball. Fastball, pretty good. He threw a couple of changeups in the first inning. I don't know that he's really landed a breaking ball yet.
The 2-1 pitch, fastball away, ball 3. Now,
2 of those have been pretty close.
They have. He's flirted with trouble, though, with the 3-ball counts. To his credit, now he worked ahead 0-2 on Brunson and yields a double, so maybe he's got Traeger right where he wants him at 3-1. He's gotten 3 strikeouts with 3-ball counts, and he throws a fastball here on the inner half for a strike, and the count 3-2.
Right on that inside corner. That's a good pitch. Very good. I mean, 3-1. I don't care when you throw that one. That's going to be hard to hit.
3-0 Beavers in the second. Chase Brunson, a 1-out double, getting his lead from second. Dax ready. The 3-2 pitch is low and inside for ball 4, which brings the tying run to the plate in the person of Anthony Silva, right-hand hitting junior. 274, 6 homers, 38 runs batted in. The shortstop, and has been a stalwart for Coach Kirk Saarloos. 2023 started all 61 games. Last year, 51 starts at shortstop, and this year, 55 starts at shortstop.
166 career starts. Yeah. 40 stolen bases.
10 for 11 this year, but right now he's trying to be hitterish. He takes a strike on the inside corner. 0-1 the count. 3-0 Beavers in the second, but TCU threatening in this elimination affair. Again, Bill Mosiella calls the offense from third. John DeLora coaching at first. Kirk Saarloos handles all the pitching stuff. The former big league pitcher. The strike 1 pitch in there for a strike. You called it beautiful. Why?
For the first pitch is fastball right on the inside corner. Second pitch, fastball right on the outside corner. I mean, yes, it's the catcher's putting down a 1. Those are 2 different pitches.
2 on, 1 out. The strike 2 pitch from Dax, slap foul past Coach John DeLora. caroms into the field of play. The count remains 0-2 to Silva. Isaac Cadena on deck. USC and St. Mary's College, winners yesterday, play tonight at 6:06. The winner of this ball game will play one of those two teams tomorrow here at 3:06. And the Beavers are hopeful they can give Beaver Nation more home games than perhaps originally reckoned upon as we go this weekend. Breaking ball, swung out and missed, strike 3. The pitch was dropped by Weber, but with runners at first and second, the strikeout is in the books, and that's 5 of them. And, Jim, that was a breaking ball that Dax Whitney got Silva to chase. But like you were talking about yesterday, he gave the hitter reason to think about offering because it was close enough.
So you got 2 strikes. You see the ball out of the pitcher's hand. Now, if that's a fastball, that's a strike. But it wasn't. It was a curveball that broke out of the zone, but you led him with that fastball.
Isaac Cadena takes a good fastball on the inner half for a strike. 0-1 the count.
It's a third one that's been right on that inside corner to a left-hander.
Cadena, left-hand hitting sophomore, 235, 7 homers, 32 runs batted in. His brother Nathan was here a couple of weeks ago with Long Beach State. Changeup, swung on and missed, and the count 0-2. And Jimmy, if he can land that consistently,
that's a great pitch.
Yeah,
that's a great pitch. All the arm action. Big, tall guy, 94-mile-an-hour fastball on the inside edge, then comes back with a changeup that probably caught the outside corner.
2 on, 2 out, 0-2 the count. Dax delivers, swung on and missed. Strike 3 to retire the side, and Dax Whitney in 2 innings has struck out the side twice. TCU threatens a bit. They leave 2. We go to the bottom of the second inning. Dax on a roll, 6 punch-outs through 2 at the end of 1.5. The Beavers 3, the Horned Frogs nothing on the Beaver Sports Network from Learfield.
Discover the heart of innovation and growth at the College of Agricultural Sciences, the founding college of Oregon State University. Since 1868, we have served as the engine of science that drives progress, supports industry, and offers education and opportunity for anyone to grow into their fullest potential. Here, students become leaders who will shape the future of food security, sustainable agriculture, and natural resource management. The College of Agricultural Sciences at Oregon State University. Grow with us. Learn more at agsci.oregonstate.edu.
Hey Beaver fans, Oregon State's tradition of excellence is now a winning pairing with Willamette Valley Vineyards Classic Oregon Wine. As a proud wine partner of Oregon State Athletics, we invite you to join us at any of our locations for world-class Pinot Noir, Pacific Northwest-inspired cuisine, and one-of-a-kind events. Learn more and plan your visit at WVV.com. That's WVV.com. Go Beavs!
This copyrighted broadcast is an exclusive presentation of Learfield under the broadcasting rights granted by Oregon State University. Reuse of this presentation is prohibited without the expressed written consent of the university and Learfield. Announcers are provided by Learfield and approved by the university.
Bottom of the second inning, 3-0 Beavers. Trent Caraway getting a fresh count after Cannon Reeder was thrown out stealing to end the first. Leading things off for the Beavers against left-hander Mason Brasfield. Trent will be followed by Jacob Craig and then Tice Peterson. Beaver Baseball brought to you by Pacific Source Health Plans. With plans for individuals, families, employers, and Medicare eligibles, Pacific Source does what's right, not just what's required. Trent Caraway had an 0-2 count, now gets a fresh count, but takes a strike, so he's 0-1 on Brasfield. Mason back to the plate, the strike one pitch a little high and away. The count 1-1 to Caraway at 256, 7 homers, 34 runs batted in, and I dare say he pummeled the ball yesterday, Jim. You said 2 of the longest home runs hit this year have been off this guy's bat. He's got a live bat. He takes high and away in the count 2-1.
Yeah, that's according to Hoyle. I mean, that's just me, just the naked eye. I'm sure that Brad Brown would probably have different numbers, but boy, I thought the one he hit early in the season was just an absolute bomb, and I thought the one he hit yesterday was very well struck and carried a long ways.
The 2-1 slider in there for a strike, good pitch, and that evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes to Caraway, leading things off for the Beavers in the second, 3-0 Beavs. The 2-2 pitch is driven to right center field and deep. Brunson back to the track, to the fence, so long again for Trent Carraway. He's homered in 3 straight games. The Beavers lead it 4-0.
Mike, we were just talking about some of his home runs, 2 of the longer ones. That is the best swing that Trent Carraway that I have seen, and I'll tell you why. That's a fastball on the outside corner, and he went with that ball. And you don't hit the ball out of that part of the ballpark the opposite way unless you go through the ball, and that's your approach. That was a beautiful swing.
Even better in a sense. Turley did a great job with the breaking ball that he got yesterday, but this was, as you said, about as good of a swing as you can get, and it puts the Beavers up 4-0. Jacob Craig takes high and away, ball 1. The 1-0 breaking ball from Brassfield down and in, ball 2. 2-0, 4-0 Beavers in the second.
And so we talked off air about Joey Wong. You know, he sends Reeder. Reeder gets thrown out, but it gets Carraway a new count. And that ended up paying off.
And a new count as Craig takes a strike in the count 2-1. A new count after having seen a couple of pitches the first time through. And got to wipe them away and start afresh. And he hits one out again. The 2-1 pitch just low to Jacob Craig, ball 3, 3-1. Craig smashed the ball in last night's 6-4 loss, 2 for a base hit down the third base side. 4-0 Beavers, a leadoff homer for Carraway here in the second. Jacob pulls one foul, and the count goes to 3-2. That home run, 415 feet off the bat of Trent Carraway.
It was a beautiful thing. Fastball outside. He didn't try to pull that ball. He stayed through it. Ball on the inside, you got to get through it. Ball on the outside, you got to stay through it, and that's what he did.
The 3-2 pitch to Jacob Craig is taken low for ball 4. The second walk yielded by Mason Brassfield, his catcher Nolan Traeger out to kind of pick him up a little bit with Jacob Craig trotting down to first. Tice Peterson, the batter. 4-0 Beavers in the second. A 3-run homer last inning from Wilson Weber. A solo shot from Trent Carraway here in the second inning. If the Beavers are able in some way, shape, or form, Jimmy, to pull off 4 straight wins and keep their season alive the rest of this weekend, to see Carraway's bat coming back to life, it lends a little more hope along those lines if he gets hot again.
Well, I think it's going to lend more hope through this weekend, and I think TCU, it might be either at the end of the rope right now or getting ready, because there's no deader than dead, and there's no sense waiting around. The Horned Frogs have a good guy out there in Nate Stern. I mean, he's there with their numbers-wise, their best guy. I think there's no time like now.
Yeah. Kirk Sarlow's the head coach and who handles all of the pitching decisions, comes out to the mound, and he's going to go to the bullpen because, as you said, Jim, even though this kid, Mason Brassfield, a freshman, had a very good year and a tremendous future in the Horned Frogs program, it doesn't appear that he's got the kind of stuff that he showed much of the year. He's given up 2 home runs. He's walked 2, and they've got a big lefty coming in out of the bullpen to the Horned Frogs here in the second. We'll check him out when we return after this pitching change break. Some darker clouds have moved in overhead, and perhaps let's just hope that TCU is feeling that a little bit as well as the Beavers try to keep their season alive, off to a good start to that end. 4-0 Beavers in the second. A pitching change at hand here at Goss. Back after this on the Beaver Sports Network from Learfield.
Established in 1983 as a family-owned business, Wilson Equipment proudly stands as an authorized full-line dealer of Bobcat compact equipment, serving the communities of Medford, Eugene, and Salem. Stop by any Wilson Equipment location for rugged, reliable Bobcat machines that get the job done, including tough Bobcat mowers, easy-to-use mini excavators, classic skid steer loaders, and new compact wheel loaders. From sales, service, rental, and hauling, Wilson Equipment has all your bases covered. Visit www.wilsonequipment.net, where you're guaranteed a grand slam.
Okay, you say, I want some breakfast. Your so-called boyfriend says, we got eggs in the fridge. Obviously, when you say breakfast, you mean McDonald's. Definitely a side-eye situation.
Forget that boring breakfast. Buy a breakfast sandwich at McDonald's, like a sausage McMuffin with egg, and get another one for just $1. Prices and participation may vary. Limited time only. Valid for item of equal or lesser value.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
4-0 Beavers in the bottom of the second inning. A change of pitchers in the bottom of the second with Kirk Saarloos, the head coach, knowing there, as Jimmy has said, it's a cliche, but it's true. There is no tomorrow. Now, there probably will be a tomorrow. It usually comes for us all, usually. No guarantees, but there will be no tomorrow on the ball field if TCU loses today. That, of course, is the case for the Beavers as well. And so here in the second, down 4-0, and Mason Brassfield clearly not quite himself. In the second, a move to a big left-hander in Braden Sloan, a different pitcher, kind of pitcher perhaps, in what you're looking at as he loosens up. 6'4", 215-pounder from Tyler Malone country in Roseville, California.
He's soft. 70 miles an hour with the changeup, 72 with another breaking ball.
Mid-80s.
I think the fastball, the last pitch was 80. It was 85. Right. I think that was his fastball. But the 6'4", 215 is not it. He is a soft-throwing lefty.
And we know, historically speaking, in recent history from yesterday, that type of approach can be problematic for the Beavs, who hope to have made some adjustments as the Horned Frogs go with a left-hander in Braden Sloan, who throws a fastball down and in that Tice Peterson jumps out of the way of. 1-0 the count. Jacob Craig at first. Nobody out. 4-0 Beavers in the bottom of the second.
That's typical for these kind of guys. They're going to show you their best fastball in, and then they go to work.
The 1-0 pitch, Peterson a fly ball to left field. Cadena started back, now moves in, makes the catch in straightaway left. One gone. And Braden Sloan has the sort of A.J. Hutchison task on behalf of TCU today. A.J., our pregame show guest, the pride of Elk Grove High School, with Elk Grove well represented yesterday with Nick Madrigal in the house, Eddie Madrigal, his cousin, in the house. But it's up to Sloan now to kind of, limit damage and give TCU a shot to come back. A long way to go, and he certainly has that shot. The Beavers hope now to have a little better success in continuing to keep their foot on the accelerator and push the lead out instead of allowing TCU to hang in. Easton Tolt takes down and away, ball 1-0. We'll give you the numbers on the big left-hander Braden Sloan here in a moment, and they're good. 4-0 Beavers, bottom of the second. Darker clouds continue to move overhead. Tolt takes just outside, ball 2-0. Sloan is making his 17th appearance, all in relief, an ERA of right around 4, a 3-4 record, 53 and 2/3 innings, just 41 hits, 25 walks, 67 strikeouts. The pitch on the way to Tolt, in there for a strike, and the count 2-1.
That changeup, big arm, and then the ball just like parachutes in there.
Teams have hit just .210 against him. 4-0 Beavers, bottom of the second inning. Jacob Craig held on at first by Brody Green. The pitch to Easton, he tries to bunt for a hit and missed the bunt attempt. He doesn't like the call, and Joey Wong has his hands up in the air saying, what, he didn't offer it that. But the home plate umpire, without recourse to help, called a strike on Tolt, and the count is even now, 2 balls and 2 strikes. That's the most demonstrative I've seen Joey Wong perhaps in his Oregon State career.
I thought he went. I thought he offered
I did
it.
too. I thought the call was right, but I've never seen Joey get that upset down there. Now the 2-2 changeup is swung out and missed strike 3, and that's good work by Braden Sloan to fall behind 2-0, come back and strike out Easton Tolt. And Easton, I know, walks back, exiting stage left, muttering about the bunt attempt that was called on him to run the count to 2-2. Now, Iba Arquette, the batter.
Sometimes what you'll see guys do, and I think Tolt did it right there, he offered it the ball, but then once he missed it, he pulled the bat back. But change up to
Arquette is swung out and missed, and Jimmy, shades of yesterday, I've got to say, so far with Del Vecchio's change, and thus far the Beavers trying.
And this guy is changeup is his number one pitch.
Trying to time it up. 4-0 Beavers, 2 home runs off of the harder throwing left-hander Brassfield. Now the fastball to Arquette. Misses down and in. 1-1 the count, 2 down. Jacob Craig at first. Wilson Weber, a 3-run home run last inning. Trent Carraway led off the second with a beautiful swing, a 415-foot home run to right center. 4-0 in the second. The 1-1 pitch is a wild pitch, or it hit Iva Arquette. It is the latter. Arquette hit by the pitch, and another opportunity now for the home run king, an RBI away from enjoying the moniker RBI king as well. Gavin Turley to the plate, 2 on, 2 out, 4-0 Beavers. Gavin walked and scored on the 3-run home run last inning. Now has a chance to make history with a base hit here and become the all-time RBI leader by himself at Oregon State.
Mike, the starting pitcher, Mason Brassfield, fastball 92 to 94. The slowest pitch he threw was his breaking ball at 85. Now you got a guy, his fastball's 85, and he's down there around 70 on that changeup.
First pitch is an off-speed delivery to Gavin. Outside, ball 1-0. Kathleen Hutchison has just brought her phone out in front of the McGrath family press box to record what she believes is going to be a historical moment for Gavin right here. The 1-0 pitch just outside, ball 2-0. So good for you, Kathleen. And Al is saying, I'll take you home again, Kathleen, after the ball game. 2 balls, no strikes, 2 on, 2 out. Bottom of the second inning, 4-0 Beavers. Turley an RBI away from becoming the all-time leader. Craig at second, Arquette at first. The 2-0 pitch sails high and away, ball 3-0. Now, Turley's green lighted, but he has been a disciplined hitter. If it's not exactly wheelhouse, he'll take a pitch.
And if he walks, that brings up Wilson home run Weber.
That's true. That's the shades of Charlie Manuel. Jim home run Wilson. 3 balls and no strikes to Gavin Turley. The pitch to Gavin high, ball 4 to load him up for Wilson home run Weber, who hit a 3-run bomb last inning, comes to the plate now with the bases loaded here, trying to break it open early in the bottom of the second inning. 4-0 Beavers. Great job by Gavin Turley, not letting any sort of... He's been up there, Jimmy, twice with the record at hand, but he doesn't care about that. He's doing the right thing by the team in taking his walks. Now the bases loaded for Wilson Weber.
179, that's, you're averaging, 66 or 67 a year.
The pitch to Wilson just outside from Braden Sloan, ball 1-0. A majestic home run to straightaway center for Wilson Weber last inning to put the Beavers up 3-0. Caraway has followed him with a solo shot here in the second. Now with the bases loaded and 2 down, Webby takes outside again. Ball 2-0, and Nolan Traeger out to the mound to visit with Braden Sloan. Now, even with this elimination game at hand, there are a lot of innings left. Kirk Sarloos does not have anybody up in his bullpen, but I think the operative word is yet, because if he ends up walking Weber, putting another guy on, forcing in a run, Kirk's got to get somebody else going. We'll see.
Yeah, it's a team that, again, losing 13-1, then coming out and jumping into a hole right away. You got to wonder what the mindset is for this TCU Horned Frog squad.
Jacob Craig at third, Iva Arquette at second, Gavin Turley at first. The 2-0 pitch to Wilson. He takes a strike, and the count 2-1.
3 straight changeups. 72 on that changeup.
2 balls and a strike to Weber with the sacks full and 2 down, 4-0 Beavers. The 2-1 pitch, good fastball. He spotted it up, inner half for a strike. That's his firmest pitch at 86, but he put it where he wanted it to, and now the count even at 2-2.
And that's what we talked about all day yesterday, is after you establish that changeup, you can get away with some of those fastballs.
The quick working Sloan back to the dish, and the change is swung on and missed. And that's a win. That's a huge win for Braden Sloan and TCU. I mean, a huge win. Strike 3 on Weber, in that they stay in the game. If Weber gets a base hit or hits another one, it's about done. From their standpoint, losing 13-1 yesterday, being down 4-0 today. But Sloan gets 3 guys out, strikes out Weber with the bases loaded, no mean feat. So TCU has life as we go to the third. A home run from Caraway, but the Beavers strand 3. At the end of 2, the Beavers 4, the Horned Frogs nothing. On the Beaver Sports Network from Learfield.
Hey there, Beaver fans. Holt Ag Solutions is proud to be your premier dealer for top tractor brands like Massey Ferguson, Fendt, and more right here in Oregon. With expert technicians and quality parts, we are here to support your operation from start to finish. Stop by any of our Oregon locations to see the latest models from Fendt, Massey Ferguson, and all your favorite ag brands at Holt Ag Solutions. or call 888-HOLT-006 to talk with one of our ag experts today.
Relax and unwind at Seven Feathers Casino Resort.
Whether you're staying overnight in their award-winning hotel or lounging in your RV at their top-rated RV resort, all of their amazing amenities are available to you.
Dine at the new Cow Creek Marketplace, Cow Creek Restaurant, or K-Bar Steakhouse.
Pamper yourself with a massage, facial, pedicure, or all free at River Rock Spa.
There's something for everyone at Seven Feathers Casino Resort, I-5, Exit 99 in Canyonville. Your place to play. Proudly owned and operated by the Cow Creek Umpqua Tribe.
All stolen bases by the Beavers in 2025 brought to you by Steel. In baseball, being good means being consistent. And consistency in outdoor power equipment is Steel's strength. Real Steel. Find yours. Visit steeldealers.com and go Beavs. The Beavers attempted to steal. Cannon Reeder was thrown out to end the first inning. Trent Caraway got a fresh count to begin the second and took advantage of it. He was 0-2 and Reeder got thrown out. Ends up blasting a 415-foot homer. The Beavers proceeded to load the bases, but settled for the solo shot. Lead at 4-0 as we go to the third. And Dax Whitney, who has struck out the side in each of the first two innings, starts the right-hand hitting Brody Green, the 9-hole hitter, with a fastball for a strike. 0-1 to Brody. Leadoff hitter Jack Bell on deck, followed by Sawyer Strohsnyder. The strike one pitch, fisted a squibber towards the first baseman Peterson, looks it in and steps on the bag for the out. There was a lot of English on that ball, and Tice had to make sure, Jimmy, that he got job one done with that ball squirming around on the artificial turf. That can be problematic, as you know, as a first baseman. Tice did a nice job for the out.
Yeah, sometimes they come down there with a little English on them, and they'll take a side turn. But Dax Whitney just rushed Brody Green's knuckles. That ball was hit about 4 inches off his up the handle.
The first out that not a strikeout from Dax, but trying to be a little bit more in the view of Crash Davis that strikeouts are fascist and using position players to get outs the more democratic approach, and the wisdom of Ron Shelton's character Crash Davis. One away, the first pitch to Jack Bell missing. The 1-0 offering, fastball, swung on and missed by Jack, who struck out looking to open the game. 1-1 the count to the left-handed hitter, Jack Bell, the son of Patricia and Buddy Bell. I had to work pretty hard with several different TCU people. Okay, the Buddy Bell, no, but a guy named Buddy Bell is his papa. He takes high and away, ball 2-1. The Bells, like the Boones, 3 generations of major leaguers. The 2-1 pitch on the way, fastball in there for a strike. Jack didn't think so, thought the pitch might have been low or in or both, and it's a strike.
It wasn't in.
Yeah.
And apparently
not low either.
Not low.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Jack Bell. 4-0 Beavers in the third. Dax to the plate, off speed, swung out and missed. Strike 3 for the 7th strikeout for Dax Whitney. 2 down, nobody on. Sawyer Strohsnyder, the batter, a school record 10 triples this year and led the nation with triples. And you mentioned 10 triples. And you mentioned earlier, you were talking about a certain number combinations. He is the first player in college baseball since 2010, this Sawyer Strohsnyder. It's a mouthful, by the way. The pitch to Sawyer, down and in, ball 1. Say it 3 times fast, and I don't think you can. You know, his first and last name. 1-0 to Sawyer. A quadruple double season this year, meaning double figures in doubles, triples, homers, and stolen bases. Now, nobody's done it in 15 years in the game until this kid. Strohsnyder takes low and in, ball 2-0.
Boy, they'll make up any stat.
Yeah, they will.
But those are
it's a good
numbers.
One, though. Yeah.
But, yeah, those are, what was it? Homers, triples.
Homers, doubles, triples, and stolen bases.
Doubles.
Yeah. The 2-0 pitch from Whitney, a fly ball to left field. Back goes Gavin Turley to the track, to the fence, and he's hit one off the top of the fence. Turley then juggles the ball, trying to play it off the top of the fence. Had he fielded it cleanly, it might have been kind of an interesting play at second. But there is another double for an outstanding hitter, a true freshman. Sawyer Strohsnyder with the second double of the ball game for TCU. This one comes with 2 outs. It just missed leaving the yard, and it brings Cole Kramer to the plate.
You mentioned that double figures in homers, triples, and doubles, and you wonder with all the homers and triples if it kind of take away from that doubles number. Right. Usually a guy doesn't have a ton of doubles and triples. It's kind of either or.
A complete hitter to be sure. A 2-out double, and now the right-hand hitting Cole Kramer, who struck out swinging in the first, takes a strike from Dax Whitney. 4-0 Beavers in the top of the third inning, with the darker clouds continuing to prevail. We began in the bright sunshine, 71 degrees, but it indeed dark, no lights on. The strike one pitch, fastball foul back, and the count quickly 0-2 on Cole Kramer.
Stroh-Snyder, the freshman, homered yesterday. That was the 13-1. It was Stroh-Snyder's. I can't just say it once.
No, you can say it one time. Again, try it 3 times fast, and it will befuddle every
I thought that ball was gone, to be honest with you.
The strike 2 pitch to Cole Kramer, breaking ball down, and the count 1-2. The only hope was, from the Beavers' perspective, would it stay at the 14-foot level on the fence and left, and it did. Off the top of the fence, just below the orange striping, the full bleachers out in left center field, across in deep right center, and straight away right. What a scene. The 1-2 pitch sprayed foul towards the sand volleyball courts to the right and out of play. The count remains 1-2, and with that, let's pause now for our network stations to identify themselves. 10-second break for station ID. This is Beaver Baseball from Learfield. To the plate, breaking ball misses, and the count 2-2. I'm trying to say, I see Scott Sanders down below. I don't know if Trent Bray is in his spot, which he often is. Will Heck is. I saw Ryan Gunderson and Danny Langsdorff sitting just below the McGrath family press box yesterday, with coaches from other sports coming out to support the Beavers in the Corvallis Regional. The 2-2 fastball swung on and missed. Strike 3 to retire the side, and Dax Whitney now with 8 strikeouts through 3. TCU leaves a runner at second. 4-0 Beavers as we head towards the bottom of the third, Jimmy.
And a nice job by the sequence there, as Kramer did a nice job taking a couple of breaking balls, 2-strike breaking balls, and then he just elevated a fastball to get his 8th strikeout in just 3 innings.
Go to the bottom of the third in this elimination affair in Corvallis. The Beavers 4, Texas Christian nothing on the Beaver Sports Network from Learfield.
Want to make a difference for Oregon State University students and alumni? It's as easy as becoming a member of the OSU Alumni Association. Whether you're an OSU graduate, a family member, or a big fan and believer, become a member today and get access to exclusive perks while supporting the university you love. Purchase a membership for yourself or as a gift at 4oregonstate.org/join. That's 4oregonstate.org/join.
Roth Home is your one-stop solution for all things home repair. From plumbing, electrical, heating, cooling, and even garage doors, we've got your home covered. Our team of expert technicians are ready 7 days a week to tackle any problem, big or small. We're more than just a home services company. We're your partners in maximizing home comfort. When your home needs the best, trust Roth Home, proud sponsor of Beaver Athletics. Visit us online at callroth.com or over the phone at 503-266-1249 and schedule your appointment today.
Oregon State Athletics has partnered with your local Toyota dealers to create an official fan club for your favorite pets, Benny's Buddies. Each member gets an official social media filter. Toyota and Oregon State give away collars, leashes, treats, toys, and much more. Sign up your pet today at osubeavers.com/Benny's Buddies. I know that Sagan, Ron Callan's precious pup, is a member of Benny's Buddies. And Jimmy, you were telling me you and Ronnie both were walking your dogs earlier today, early this morning here in Corvallis. Good for you. The first pitch to A.J. Singer, a strike. 4-0 Beavers in the bottom of the third.
Well, if you see Ron, you probably know that the dog Sagan isn't too far behind.
That's right. We conducted the Beaver Sports podcast this week with Sagan at hand, and that was a really good edition, all baseball. The Beavers trying to keep their Corvallis regional hopes alive. They lead at 4-0 in the bottom of the third after stumbling last night 6-4. A.J. takes a little low and inside from Braden Sloan, 1-1 the count. The big lefty did a nice job yesterday to settle, last inning, I should say, to settle things down for TCU after the Beavers had scored a run and were threatening again. Sloan put up a 0 after his entrance to the game and left the bases loaded. Singer takes outside, ball 2, 2-1. A.J. struck out on his first at-bat.
Sloan, like you said, did a nice job. He struck out 2, but he also put 2 aboard, one with a hit by pitch and one with a walk.
The 2-1 pitch to A.J. is outside for ball 3. 3-1. A.J. Singer, Cannon Reeder, and Trent Caraway in the bottom of the third under the darkening clouds at Goff Stadium at Coleman Field. 4-0 Beavers trying to play their way into tomorrow against either USC or SMC. Singer blasts one to deep left field. It's on its way. So long! 3 innings in the game, 3 homers for the Beavers. Singer hits it out. The Beavers lead it 5-0.
It doesn't always happen like this, but I guess when you're a second baseman and you only have 2 home runs on the year, the 3-1 fastball, and A.J. Singer got all of it. The minute again, there's been the 3 home runs, and I think only Caraway's I wasn't certain because it was to right center. Wilson Weber for sure, dead center homer, and this one here, a no doubter to left from A.J. Singer.
As Jimmy said, just the third of the season for A.J., but boy, he got on it. He hit 18 in junior college baseball a year ago, so he does have some pop, and he shows it here in a big moment for the Beavs, who lead at 5-0. Cannon Reeder, the hitter, and takes the first pitch a little bit up, ball 1. Cannon stroked a single to left field in the first inning and then was caught stealing to end the frame. 5-0 Beavers in the third. 1 ball and no strikes. Trent Caraway, who homered last inning, on deck. The 1-0 change is outside, and the count goes to 2 balls and no strikes. Yesterday, the Beavers did hit 2 home runs. They've hit 3 today. The problem was that's nice to hit 2, but they struck out 16 times. The approach has been more effective. They're up 5-0. Dax Whitney's been pounding the zone. Another change is outside, ball 3. That came in at 73, Jimmy.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of deception to that change up, and he takes a lot off it.
3-1 to Cannon Reeder. Back-to-back innings with leadoff home runs. 5-0 Beavers in the third. Wilson Weber, a 3-run homer in the first. The 3-0 pitch misses inside for ball 4, and Cannon draws the walk. Trent Caraway, the batter, and Kirk Sarlos, the head coach, is on his way out to the mound. Braden Sloan did a nice job coming in to settle things. But as Jimmy mentioned, control was a bit of an issue, and so there's a couple of guys in the TCU bullpen. I don't see anyone, Jimmy, at least from my vantage point, throwing per se. I'm going to check with my correspondent, Joe Van Horn. Kirk will head back to the dugout on his own. But, again, you can't wait too long.
No. Sometimes that lack of command, lack of control, it doesn't always show up just in the walks column. It shows up in the home run column. I mean, he ran the count to Singer to 3-1 and put himself into a situation where he had to throw a strike. And he ends up throwing a 3-1 fastball, Singer homers. And that's the thing. Same with Cannon Reeder. I mean, he just backed himself into account and then walks him.
Trent Caraway at the plate. Cannon Reeder drawing the walk. He's at first. The pitch to Trent is outside on the breaking ball. Ball 1, 1-0. 5-0 Beavers, bottom of the third inning. Beaver baseball brought to you by Umpqua Dairy, a Northwest favorite since 1931. And that is Sammy Baugh territory in TCU's athletic history. 1931. The 1-0 pitch change, swung out and missed by Caraway, and the count 1-1. Baugh is probably the most famous horned frog, was originally offered a scholarship by Buck Bailey at Washington State. His dream was to play baseball. He injured himself sliding, and Buck withdrew the scholarship offer, and Sammy ended up at TCU as a football guy. The pitch to Caraway down and in. He played all 3 sports in Fort Worth and went on to be pretty good, slinging Sammy, Hall of Famer in the NFL, the most famous Horned Frog alum. The pitch to Caraway missing. 2-1 the count. 5-0 Beavers in the third. Cannon Reeder held on by Brody Green. The pitch to Trent, high and away, a throw down to first, and Reeder scrambles back. 3-1 the count to Trent Caraway.
Yeah, first baseman on that play just always has to be available for that back pick. And sometimes that's not a play right there. That's a ball that the pitch takes the catcher outside, takes him down the line, and he just runs with it.
Caraway swings at the 3-1 pitch and hooks it foul over Joey Wong's head and down the line towards the Jacoby Ellsbury clubhouse entrance. The count goes to 3-2. Do you send Reeder?
That's an interesting question. I would say no, just because of the left-hander, the possibility of the pick-off.
And the possibility of swing and miss, strikeout, throw him out, so we'll see. Cannon gets his lead, 3-2 to Caraway. Cannon doesn't go, and the 3-2 pitch is swung on, foul tipped, and held by Nolan Traeger for strike 3. 1 away, and Jacob Craig, who walked in the second inning, will come to the plate.
Just another changeup.
Yeah. A lot of TCU fans. It's a strong program. There's a nice contingent in the purple and white just to the right of us as we peer out of the McGrath family press box. A throw to first and Cannon Reeder back. Pat Casey, whom I visited with yesterday, said that in 2009, when the Beavers went down to Fort Worth to play in the Fort Worth Regional after missing in 2008 going to the postseason, if I recall, they didn't miss in 5, 6, or 7, but they did in 8, went to Fort Worth in 2009. The pitch to Jacob Craig, a strike, the count 0-1, 5-0 Beavers here in the bottom of the third. Pat said that the most hostile fan base in terms of just being on you constantly that he'd ever heard up to that point were the fans at Fort Worth at Lupton Stadium at Texas Christian. The strike one pitch to Jacob Craig, the count 0-2. Pat said at one point one fan, when Pat was arguing a call, a fan right behind the Beavers dugout, so you win a national championship and you think you know everything, huh? Pat put 2 fingers up to the fan.
not one.
The strike 2 pitch just missed to Craig, and the count 1-2. And so Pat's panache there and holding up the 2. The TCU in front. Oh, yeah, my bad. I'm sorry. And he kind of won a friend with that. They laughed about it during the game. 1-2 to Jacob Craig. 5-0 Beavers in the third. The pitch to Jacob up and in, and the count 2-2.
You mentioned that story is 2009. From 2010 till today, they were in 6 College World Series. Yeah. 6.
It's amazing.
Yeah,
isn't
that's a run. That's Jim Schlossnagel, who he's now the Texas coach, but in the meantime was at Texas A&M doing some good things.
The 2-2 pitch is taken by Jacob Craig. Strike 3 called. 2 down. Back-to-back strikeouts for Braden Sloan. 5-0 Beavers in the third. Tice Peterson, the batter, and it's pretty amazing to go 4 straight years as they did, 14-17.
Yeah. Did Jacob Craig have a swing in that at bat?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
No.
He went 0-2 on the first 2.
Braden Sloan comes to the plate, change up. Oh my goodness, what was that? About 65 miles an hour. Swung on and missed, and the count 0-1 by Tice Peterson, trying to time it up. Flied to left field in his first at bat. The reader on the scoreboard out in right center said 74. That's slow. Cannon Reeder at first, 2 down, 5-0 Beavs in the third. Cannon draws a throw and gets back. The Beavers trying to play their way into another elimination game tomorrow, and the potentiality of 2, they hope, tomorrow. And a chance to have, come Monday, it'll be all right. The pitch to Peterson, whacked to right and pretty deep. Franco back to the track, to the fence, and very deep. So long. A 2-run homer for Tice Peterson, and the Beavers lead it 7-0.
The second home run in the inning, and sort of quietly, the Beavers put up 3 in the inning, have scored in every inning, have 4 home runs in the baseball game. And I was just talking to Hank Hager in between innings. It'd be nice if Oregon State can get to that point where, okay, you're going to milk Dax for everything he has, but then you don't want to use some arms. Yeah, some of those guys, you want to keep them because you got a long ways to go.
Well, that is a very good point, Jimmy.
I mean, if you can get by with Zach Kamatz and some of the guys that you weren't really counting on.
Yes. I hear you. 7-0 Beavs. Easton Tolt the batter. Easton takes a strike and the count 0-1. Tice Peterson, who's come on strong down the stretch with his third homer of the year. This a 2-run blast. 7-0 Beavers in the third. 4 home runs in the ballgame for the Beavs. The strike one pitch to Easton. He topples one foul up along first. Brady Casper looks on outside the first base coaching box. No balls and 2 strikes. The count to Easton, who has fouled out and struck out.
I loved that bunt he did yesterday to lead off because of the shift, but just the mental acuity to see it and so here's the answer to that, and bunted it past the pitcher, and he could have put me in a wheelchair, got to first.
The strike 2 pitch out in front of the change, but does a nice job way out on his front foot, but he got a piece of it to keep the at-bat alive. 0-2 the count.
Those are the kind of swings that just annoy pitchers. You throw the pitch you want, you got the guy fooled, and just somehow he just kind of waves at it and doesn't put it in play, but fouls it off, keeps himself alive.
No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Braden Sloan to the plate, very high, ball 1. Hitters like Luke Appling and others in baseball's history could intentionally foul off pitches, just foul, to wear a pitcher out. Back in the days when pitchers were expected to go all the way, Joe Esker, a former St. Mary's Gale, went 26 innings back in 1920 and got a tie out of it. The 1-2 pitch, flailed at and missed, strike 3. The off-speed pitch was in the turf. Traeger gathers and throws down to Brody Green for the putout on Tolt, 2-3. The inning is over, but another big inning for the Beavers. They blast 2 more homers, a solo shot for A.J. Singer, a 2-run homer for Tice Peterson. Through 3, the Beavers 7, TCU nothing on the Beaver Sports Network from Learfield.
With a great selection of new Toyotas, everyone knows your summer starts here at your Toyota dealer, even your pet parrot.
Right, the summer starts here.
Well said.
Dealer inventory may vary. See your participating Toyota dealer for details. Event ends June 2nd.
Toyota, let's go places.
Established in 1983 as a family-owned business, Wilson Equipment proudly stands as an authorized full-line dealer of Bobcat compact equipment, serving the communities of Medford, Eugene, and Salem. Stop by any Wilson Equipment location for rugged, reliable Bobcat machines that get the job done, including tough Bobcat mowers, easy-to-use mini excavators, classic skid steer loaders, and new compact wheel loaders. From sales, service, rental, and hauling, Wilson Equipment has all your bases covered. Visit www.wilsonequipment.net, where you're guaranteed a grand slam.
With a great selection of new Toyotas, everyone knows your summer starts here at your Toyota dealer, even your pet parrot.
Right, the summer starts here.
Well said.
Dealer inventory may vary. See your participating Toyota dealer for details. Event ends June 2nd.
Toyota, let's go places.
This is the RAV 4th inning, presented by your local Toyota dealers. Now, back to the game.
Through 3 innings at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field, the Beavers 7 runs, 6 hits, 4 homers, no errors. For TCU, no runs, 2 hits, no errors. 8 strikeouts for Dax Whitney through 3, and now has a 7-run lead to work with as we go to the 4th. Noah Franco, Chase Brunson, and Nolan Traeger, the scheduled hitters. All saves this year are presented by Wafed Bank. Wafed Bank, you deserve a best bank, and we're in the Toyota RAV 4th. Beaver Baseball brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places. Dax Whitney to the plate. Fastball in there for a strike. 0-1 to Franco, whom he fanned in the second. Every out save 1 for Dax through 3 has been via the strikeout. No balls and a strike. Top of the 4th inning. 7-0 Beavers. Dax to the plate. Fastball, slap foul past third base coach and hitting coach Bill Mosiello. 0-2 to Franco. Whitney and Wilson Weber the battery. Tice Peterson at first. A.J. Singer at second. Iva Arquette at short. Trent Caraway at third. Gavin Turley in left. Cannon Reeder in center. Easton Tolt in right. Breeze is blowing out towards right center. The strike 2 pitch. Fast one just outside. 1-2 to Franco.
As you just went around the infield, it made me realize that only Iva Arquette is not homered of the people, counting the catcher even. Homers from the rest of them in the infield.
The 1-2 pitch on the way, pulled foul past first base coach John DeLaura for TCU. and the count remains 1-2 strikes to Noah Franco. The Beavers hopeful to bring this one home if they can. They play at 3 tomorrow against either St. Mary's College or USC. If they win that, they'd play at 7 and try to play their way into Monday. Ground ball to second, backhanded by Singer. A.J. throws to Tice Peterson for the out. One away in the top of the fourth. Chase Brunson, who doubled in the second inning, will be the batter.
And looking ahead, and the one guy you know moving forward that's going to start is Ethan Kleinschmidt tomorrow, right? After that, I mean, everything is, we have our ideas who might go, but you know you got Kleinschmidt, and that's why this one is such an important game, is to get Kleinschmidt on a mound in a game 3.
Dax Whitney delivers a breaking ball strike, landing it on a first pitch to Chase Brunson. 0-1 the count. 7-0 Beavers, top of the fourth inning in this elimination game between TCU and the Bees. Fastball grounded sharply to the left of Arquette. Iva, nice and smooth, scoops it up and throws to first, 2 down. The thing I like most, I've loved watching Iva all year, is the ease with which he makes those plays, Jimmy. Yeah. I mean, there's a level of difficulty when you're ranging left or right. He ranged left, but he just picks it up smoothly like there's nothing to it.
He plays the game easy. Yeah. It's the first thing that caught my eye the very first time I saw him play shortstop this year for Oregon State.
2 down, nobody on. Nolan Traeger takes a strike and the count 0-1.
But you look at those two guys, and we've talked about their strength up the middle with those two guys, only 4 errors. But it's the caveat is, hey, they're making plays. I mean, those are base hits in a lot of. I mean, they were positioned well, but those balls are smashed to a couple 10 feet, or 8 feet, 5 feet to the one way or the other, and both of them just made very easily.
The strike one pitch, sprayed foul towards Waldo Hall to the left and out of play. 0-2 the count, 2 down, nobody on in the fourth. 7-0 Beavers. Dax looking for a 1-2-3 frame. Delivers and just misses with a fastball outside, but that's a good pitch. 0-2 to run the fastball outside like that, nothing wrong with that.
He threw it right where he wanted to, and Wilson Weber was set up slightly outside.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 down. Dax to the plate on the inside corner with a fastball. Strike 3 called to retire the side. 9 strikeouts through 4 for Dax Whitney in the biggest start of his Oregon State career, the most important certainly, and he's been magnificent through 4. After 3.5, it remains the Beavers 7, TCU nothing on the Beaver Sports Network from Learfield.
Weyerhaeuser, a global leader in sustainable forestry and wood products manufacturing, is proud to offer a wide range of exciting career opportunities at our mills, distribution centers, and working forests across Oregon and Washington. Along with competitive wages, Weyerhaeuser offers full benefits and career growth and development opportunities in a great work environment with great people. Get started by applying online at wy.com/careers. Go Beavs! Weyerhaeuser is an equal opportunity employer.
At the stadium or home, keep your cocktails local with Crater Lake Spirits, because great booze, happy people isn't just our motto, it's our personal guarantee. With every bottle of Crater Lake, you're getting Oregon pride distilled. Our spirits are a toast to tradition and a nod to innovation. Every sip is a celebration of the good times, the great outdoors, and the unbeatable spirit of the Pacific Northwest. Join us in raising a glass to victories, big and small, with Crater Lake Spirits, proudly sponsoring Oregon State Athletics. We're here to make every game day unforgettable.
If you are 55 plus in the community and you've always wanted to be an Oregon State cheerleader, or at least given some consideration for that, well, P3 Health Partners can make it happen. Go to osubeavers.com/senior cheer squad to learn more. P3 Health Partners and its senior cheer squad have been a big hit in our community. As has, of course, Beaver baseball. The 11th regional since 2005. The Beavers lost yesterday to St. Mary's 6-4. Up against it today, needing to win to keep their hopes alive. And so far, not so good, very good. 7-0 Beavers to the bottom of the fourth. 4 homers, 1 in each inning. Iva Arquette, as Jimmy mentioned, the lone infielder not to hit one out. Swings at the first pitch from Braden Sloan to open the bottom of the fourth and fouls it back. 0-1 the count.
And as dominant as Oregon State has been offensively, you mentioned 4 home runs. Dare say Dax Whitney's been more dominant on the other side.
9 strikeouts through 4 for the freshman, the pride of Blackfoot, Idaho. No balls and a strike to Iva. Change, swung on and missed. 0-2. Iva has doubled and been hit by a pitch. He doubled with 1 out in the first inning, and that got the Beavers going in the kind of start they really needed. After the 6-4 defeat yesterday, they were on the board shortly thereafter in the form of a 3-run home run to straightaway center by Wilson Weber. Change again down in the count 1-2 to Iva Arquette leading off the bottom of the 4th. Iva followed by Gavin Turley and then Wilson Weber. Dark clouds continuing to prevail, brightening up just a bit. The winds continuing to blow out to right. Iva chases a 1-2 pitch off speed outside, strike 3, 1 away. And Gavin Turley, the batter. If the Beavers keep this home run derby going, he could set the record right here with 1 swing. Gavin to the plate. He and Michael Conforto, 179 runs batted in their careers. And Gavin, an RBI shy now of standing atop that list.
One thing Sloan is doing is, I call him a throttle guy. Some of the changeup, 72, he takes a lot off. He's thrown a couple and gotten strikeouts with them where he didn't take as much off. Came up at 76, 77 on the board, but you could tell that the pitch was a little firmer.
First pitch to Gavin misses high, ball 1 on a fastball from Sloan. Braden Reddy, the 1-0 pitch, that's down and in for ball 2. The Beavers struck out a season high equaling 16 times yesterday. They've struck out 7 times today. Turley with the count his way. 2 balls and no strikes, and it could be. I mean, that's the type of count that certainly favors a power hitter like Turley. We'll see if he can get his pitch. The 2-0 pitch is a strike on the change in the count 2-1.
The only difference is today on that risk-reward thing on the strikeouts. On the flip side, the Beavers have homered 4 times.
Gavin's been up twice. He's walked twice. He's been up there with runners in scoring position each time, but has been glad to take his walks. The 2-1 changeup swung on and missed, and the count 2-2. Gavin, after the swing, kind of looked back. Did the ball finally get there? Yes, and it landed into the mid of Nolan Traeger. 2-2 the count. Wilson Weber on deck. 7-0 Beavers in the 4th. The 2-2 pitch to Gavin, swung on and missed. Strike 3, another changeup, and that's 3 straight strikeouts for Braden Sloan, recovering from the 2-run home run by Tice Peterson. A combined 17 strikeouts in this ballgame, and we're only in the 4th. Wilson Weber, the batter. Wilson, a 3-run homer and a strikeout. 7-0 Beavers, 2 down, nobody on, bottom of the 4th.
Sloan has struck out 5 out of the last 6 Beavers, but that other guy, that was a 2-run home run by Tice Peterson.
Wilson swings at a change and doesn't get it. 0-1 the count. He, too, looks like the kind of guy we were talking about yesterday with Dylan Delvecchio, Frank Viola, other changeup artists who you could say, okay, hey, the changeup is coming. You don't even need to put fingers down. The strike 1 pitch in the turf and the count 1-1, and a hitter may know it's coming and still have grave difficulty in timing it up.
Best changeup I think that I ever saw, and he was a teammate of mine for a while, was a guy named Doug Jones, and he became a stopper.
Yeah.
And his changeup was absolutely phenomenal.
The 1-1 pitch, change, swung on and missed, and the count 1-2 to Wilson Weber, and Braden Sloan is a strike away from fanning the side. The Beavers leading 7-0, 3 in the first, a run in the second, 3 in the third, but quiet thus far here in the 4th. Sloan kicks in the lefty to the plate, swung on and fouled at the plate. Weber gets a piece of it to stay alive. 1-2 the count.
I could almost start calling the pitches here with my eyes closed.
Right.
Change.
Yeah.
He'll try to. The fastball at this point is almost for show. We just kind of show it. Something to, and he'll mix in more sliders than fastballs, but he's probably 80% right now. Changeup.
A good estimate, I would say. The 1-2 pitch on the way to Wilson. Fastball hit foul down the right field line, and even there you see Wilson kind of a protective hack racing into foul territory to try to make the play is Noah Franco. The wind kind of pushing it back towards the field of play. The ball lands. It fell out of our vision and landed evidently untouched. Franco gave it a pretty good try. The fans reacted to something, Jimmy, down there, and I'm not sure quite what.
I'm not either. I thought that the right fielder was going to catch the ball.
I never felt that, but at the end of the play, the fans were reacting kind of like, ooh, something happened.
There was a ooh.
Yeah.
Or an awe.
If anybody down there is listening, you can text me, what happened? The 1-2 pitch to Wilson Weber, down and away, ball 2-2. Sidney Pointer, the architect of MLBeavs.com, tracking all of our former Beaver players who are making their mark in the major leagues and in the minors. Trevor Larnach yesterday, 4 for 6, 4 RBIs up north, and the Twins win over the Mariners. The 2-2 pitch to Wilson, big rip, and a little piece of it on the change to stay alive. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count, 2 down, nobody on, 7-0 Beavers in the fourth. Sidney was in the right field bleachers yesterday. If you're listening, Sidney, and know what the heck happened, why the crowd reacted, please let me know and I'll pass it along. The wind's continuing to blow out towards right center field. The 2-2 pitch to Wilson, a ground ball to the left of the shortstop Silva. Anthony up with it and throws to first for the out on Weber. And the Beavers go in order for the first time. Braden Sloan with 2 more strikeouts and a ground ball. We are through 4 in this elimination affair at Goff Stadium at Coleman Field. The Beavers 7, Texas Christian University nothing on the Beaver Sports Network from Learfield.
BECU. You've heard the name, seen the letters. But what does BECU stand for? Simply put, not-for-profit BECU stands for people. For charting your own path. For choosing what's right for members instead of what's profitable for someone else. Because they are the reason our credit union exists. So we do everything in our power to help them reach their financial goals. BECU. Power in people. All Pacific Northwest residents are eligible to join. Federally insured by NCUA.
Mitch Cannon teaches his team the values of hard work, dedication, and swinging for the fences. That's the same philosophy at Umpqua Dairy. For over 90 years, they've produced award-winning ice cream. Just like the Beavers baseball team, Umpqua Dairy has picked up its fair share of national championships through the years. Check out their flavor of the month at umpquadairy.com and find their Oregon-made ice cream at your favorite grocery store. Umpqua Dairy and OSU baseball, a home run combination.
Oregon State Credit Union, the official credit union of OSU Athletics. You can join today. Visit OregonStateCU.com/join. Top of the 5th inning. The Beavers leading TCU 7-0. Dax Whitney has been, as Jim Wilson put it, absolutely dominant. Jim has vacated the McGrath family press box for a moment. But I dare say the big fellow will be back up here soon, the OSU Hall of Famer. The 11th Regional, we've had the pleasure of working together going back to 2005. And after starting in bright sunshine for the most part, some darker clouds having moved in and hovered over us the last couple of innings, it looks as though the sun's trying to work its way back through. It's a pleasant day. Now, a less than pleasant start to the inning, though, for Dax Whitney. His first pitch is stroked to left field, and then Gavin Turley overruns the ball and plays a single into a 3-base opportunity for Anthony Silva. And Gavin Turley, who we've talked about his growth as a ball player, and it's been a joy to watch, makes his first error of the season. But it's potentially a big one. When I said the inning did not get off to a good start, it certainly didn't, just with a base hit alone for Anthony Silva. But in the you can take nothing for granted, the ball was kind of hit off the end of the bat and may have had a lot of that English on it that we talked about earlier with another play that Tice Peterson made. Instead of a runner at first and nobody out, runner at third, nobody out. Isaac Cadena takes a fastball away, ball 1, 1-0. Anthony Silva with a base hit to left, and Gavin Turley moving in on the ball overran it for a 2-base error. His first of the season. The Beavers coming in with a team fielding percentage of .982, tied for their best ever as a program. The 1-0 fastball from Dax Whitney, a strike to Isaac. The count 1-1. Cadena struck out in the second. Dax Whitney has been incredible this afternoon. 9 strikeouts. Comes back to the plate, and Cadena tied up by high fastball. Tried to check his swing, but went around, and the count goes to 1-2 to Isaac. 7-0 Beavers, but out of the gate here in the top of the 5th. The runner at third, nobody out, base hit, 2-base error. Isaac, a transfer from Ohio State, from Placentia, California. Whitney's 1-2 pitch hit high and deep to right. Back goes Easton Talt, and that's gone. And the error, I mean, that's going to be a 2-run home run anyway. This game far from over. Texas Christian proving it here in the 5th. Dax Whitney gives up a base hit and a 2-run homer, and it goes from 7-0 to 7-2. And Dax hopes now to kind of get himself channeled back and continue what has been a dominant ride, because there's a lot of outs to get to keep the Beavers season alive. And Texas Christian University has gone from 7-0 to 7-2 with the first 2 batters here in the 5th. Brody Green to the plate, and Wilson Weber kind of recognizing the change in the feel and the mood. The veteran leader, the senior catcher, out to the mound for a conversation with Dax. Brody Green grounded to first in his first at-bat. Jim, the ball carried well. It was struck well, but it carried well. That wind is blowing out to right field. And suddenly now you're in a 7-2 game. Still feels okay. You prefer that than the other side of it. But I think it's a sign what's gone on here early, big fella, that there's a lot of baseball left to play. The pitch to Green, fastball swung on and missed. And the best thing Dax can do now would be to kind of settle in and get 3 outs and say, okay, that's it.
Just keep pounding that zone. If you make them earn it, just make them earn it. I think you're going to be all right.
The strike 1 pitch swung on and missed, and the count 0-2. And just to get an out of any kind here would be great. A strikeout would just sort of add to that feel. Base hit to left, 2-base error on Turley overrunning the ball. And then the 2-run home run by Isaac Cadena, transferring in from Ohio State, where he had played for Bill Mosiello. Bill Mosiello was the head coach at Ohio State for the last couple of years, then returned to TCU and brought Cadena with him. Cadena powering his 8th homer of the year. The pitch to Brody Green, missing down and away. Dax's 1-2 fastball just outside, ball 2, 2-2. Big pitch here. 2-2 the count. 7-2 Beavers in the 5th. Nobody out. And TCU feels if they can get this guy on, bring their leadoff hitter up, that they're certainly on the comeback trail. The 2-2 off-speed pitch fouled back, and the count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Nice job by Brody Green to spoil a pretty darn good 2-strike breaking ball from Dax Whitney.
Brody, a 4th-year senior in the program for Coach Kirk Sarloos. The 2-2 pitch on the way. Fastball hit foul off to the right and out of play towards Dixon Rec. It remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. Dax Whitney, coming into the inning, had made, or to this at bat, 73 pitches, now at 77. Looking for the first out here in the top of the 5th with the Beaver lead trimmed to 7-2. Dax to the plate, breaking ball, a check swing, on appeal, swing, says the first base umpire, Blake Felix. 1 away, and Jimmy, I'm not quite sure that he did. If I were calling it, I'm not sure, but the Beavers get the out on the appeal. 1 gone in the 5th, and Jack Bell, the batter.
Yeah, you've heard me say that a lot of times in this very situation. In real life, in real time, it doesn't look like it, but every time they show that replay on TV, I say, well, yeah, I guess he did go. I thought that yellow bat did get out there pretty good.
The pitch on the way to the left-hand hitting Jack Bell. Fastball swung on and missed. 0-1 the count. Jack, a transfer from Texas A&M. No balls and a strike. 1 out, nobody on in the 5th. 7-2 Beavers. Isaac Cadena, a 2-run homer. Breaking ball swung on and missed. And the count 0-2. Good pitch.
Maybe his best breaking ball of the day in terms of just the sharp, hard break and strike. I think that ball, if he doesn't swing, I think that's a strike.
Bell is struck out looking and swinging. 0-2 the count. Dax to the plate. The strike 2 fastball is up. 1-2 the count to Jack Bell. 9 strikeouts on the day. the right-hander Dax Whitney hoping to hit that McDonald's strikeout that'll get you some goods at McDonald's using the McDonald's app tomorrow. The 1-2 pitch on the way. Down and in, ball 2, 2-2. Oh, he has 10 now, pardon me. Yeah, the first strikeout in the inning got him to 10. So go McDonald's, go Dax Whitney. That means tomorrow at participating McDonald's, a free Egg McMuffin using the app with a minimum of a $2 purchase. The 2-2 pitch just missed. And the count goes to 3-2. That should have added another Egg McMuffin to the count, I think. But that was called a ball.
Yeah. His next strikeout is his 100th on the season, which that's a kind of a good landmark for a pitcher.
1 out, 7-2 Beavers. The 3-2 pitch, a fly ball to left field. Gavin Turley moving in. Gavin is there to make the catch. 2 down. Good job by Dax to fill up the zone, not give in. He hasn't walked a batter today, and we certainly saw yesterday what the freebies can do to hurt you right from the start. Eric Segura did not have command. 3 hit batters in the inning, a walk with the bases loaded. It was tough. Eric may yet, and here comes Rich Dorman out now with the Beavers leading 7-2. 2 outs, nobody on. Whitney is up to 86 pitches, and Rich is on his way to the mound. Now, I'm going to check with my correspondent, Joe Van Horn. And he doesn't have anybody throwing in the bullpen for at least, it's not Joe Van Horn's decision. Joe said, hey, get so. No, Joe is simply communicating to me via text. He doesn't, on his text feed to yours truly, espy anyone throwing. But Rich Dorman pays a visit here. What do you think this visit's about in this kind of situation?
Dax, you need one more strikeout. One more strikeout
for your 100th.
For your 100th. No, I think he's just giving him a break, to be honest with you.
Interesting.
Just kind of giving him a break because he gave up the 2, but then he fought back. Just kind of take a breath, and maybe buy a little time. I think there is some rustling, and also as he's giving it, just ask him how you feel.
He's dealing now with a very good hitter in the freshman Sawyer Strohsnyder. 2 down, nobody on. 7-2 Beavers in the 5th. Dax to the plate. Sawyer, a big rip. Swung out and missed. 0-1 the count. On my YouTube feed, the other day, it came across the Bob Welch, Reggie Jackson battle in the 1978 World Series Game 2. A 10-pitch at-bat. Lasted nearly 5 minutes in real time. Welch taking out Reggie to end the game. Breaking ball inside, and the count 1-1 to Strohsnyder. That first swing right there, Reggie took some rips in that at-bat. That was a memorable moment in the game's history.
I do recall.
Yeah.
What year?
78. Game 2, 21-year-old Welch striking out Reggie. The 1-1 pitch swung on and missed. The count 1-2. I know Mickey Mantle could take some mighty rips, but Jimmy, in my time, in my life, there was no one more entertaining on swings and misses than Reggie Jackson.
No, he was just the entertaining guy to watch hit.
Right. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 7-2 Beavers in the 5th. Dax to the plate, fastball away. Ball 2.
You don't. The last swing that Strohsnyder swung at it, the pitch was shoulder high. All right, he's not going to catch up to a 94-mile-an-hour fastball. But boy, his bat speed, you could really notice the bat speed.
Dax ready, the 2-2 breaking ball, got him swinging, the inning is over. So Dorman's message was, hey, go get a strikeout. It'll be your 100th in your career. Good coaching and a coachable pitcher.
And good execution.
Dax Whitney gets the strikeout, his 11th of the game, the 100th of the season. He is touched for a 2-run home run, but he is through 5. We go to the bottom of the 5th. The Beavers 7, TCU 2 on the Beaver Sports Network from Learfield.
Discover the heart of innovation and growth at the College of Agricultural Sciences, the founding college of Oregon State University. Since 1868, we have served as the engine of science that drives progress, supports industry, and offers education and opportunity for anyone to grow into their fullest potential. Here, students become leaders who will shape the future of food security, sustainable agriculture, and natural resource management. The College of Agricultural Sciences at Oregon State University. Grow with us. Learn more at agsci.oregonstate.edu.
Hey, Beaver fans, Holland America has been sailing to Alaska longer than any other cruise line. Spot calving glaciers, breaching hunchback whales. With a cruise line that's #1 in Alaska wildlife and wilderness tours. Depart conveniently from the Pacific Northwest all summer long. Have it all with our 2025 early booking bonus and save 60% on the best onboard package. This offer is per person based on double occupancy and available on select departures. Restrictions apply. Visit hollandamerica.com for more details. Holland America, the official cruise line partner of OSU. Go Beavs!
The Beavers 7, Texas Christian University 2. The loser season is over. The winner has an opportunity to play tomorrow at 3:06 in another elimination affair against the loser of tonight's game between St. Mary's College and USC. And the winner of that game would then have a chance to play the winner at 7:06 of the SMC-USC game, and the Beavers certainly hope they're in that position. They're up 7-2 as we go to the bottom of the fifth. Braden Sloan's first pitch to the backstop, and Beaver Nation cheers that result. 1-0 the count from a guy that's been pretty good, all things considered. He did give up he gave up a couple of home runs, that's true, including to A.J. Singer, and a 2-run homer from Tice Peterson. But, Jimmy, I'm saying Braden Sloan has given them the kind of effort that has allowed TCU to kind of stay in this ball game since taking over from Mason Brassfield. He delivers a strike and the count 1-1.
Well, he's put a bunch of strikeouts in the books, that's for sure.
A.J. Singer, Cannon Reeder, and Trent Caraway in the bottom of the fifth. 7-2 Beavers. Singer fouls one to the right and out of play. 7 strikeouts for Braden Sloan since coming on in the second inning. We're in the fifth. The Beavers homered in each of the first 3 innings. Went quietly in the fourth. Now A.J. trying to get the offense restarted, and it would behoove them to do so after seeing TCU plate 2 in the top of the inning. Singer takes low and inside, ball 2, 2-2. A.J. out of the box. Played his junior college baseball right across the river from Omaha. Dreaming about that ballpark in downtown Omaha. And the Beavers have been talking about that, thinking about it all season long. They have a tough road to get there now, losing yesterday, but they've done so far today what they've needed to do to keep the hope alive. Singer fouls it back. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 7-2 Beavers in the bottom of the fifth. Braden Sloan to the plate. Hit sharply on one hop right at the shortstop. Silva throws low, and a good dig off the turf by Brody Green. 1 away, and Cannon Reeder, the batter. Whether he meant to use the turf, Jimmy, I don't think so, but the turf can pick up a first baseman from time to time, and that made that less problematic.
Yeah, on turf, the expectation is you pick them all, to be honest with you. I mean, just like if you hit a grounder, you know what I mean? It's coming to you on the ground. You're supposed to catch it, right? It's no different. In fact, in many ways, easier.
1 out, nobody on. The batter is Cannon Reeder. Braden Sloan to the plate. Cannon off speed, swung on and missed. 0-1 the count. Reeder has singled to left, walked and scored. 7-2 Beavers, bottom of the fifth inning.
Singer ended up hitting a breaking ball and just hit a one-hop smash to the shortstop.
The strike 1 pitch, Cannon shows bunt and bunts foul, and he's behind the count. No balls and 2 strikes. Jimmy, watching that play, the one-hop throw, unintentional. Mike Riley joined me on our local show last week talking about the passing of Carl Hutzler, a name you certainly remember as the longtime Corvallis High School coach. Harold Reynolds also joined, as did Mike. They both played for Carl during his 20-plus year run as the head coach at Corvallis High School. The strike 2 pitch on the way, waved at and missed. Strike 3 for Cannon Reeder. 2 down here in the fifth. 7-2 Beavers, 2 down, nobody on for Trent Caraway. Mike said he loved Coach Hutzler. Harold Reynolds said that Hutz was like a father figure to him. He was around CHS, Harold said, from the time of 8 and all the way through, from 8 years old through the rest of their shared lives in baseball. Harold was deeply touched and hurt by the loss of Coach Carl Hutzler. The pitch to Caraway misses low and inside, ball 1-0. Mike Riley said the approach that he kind of learned from Hutz, there's ways to go about. Mike made a bad throw where he threw a ball on a hop to the shortstop. He was supposed to throw it directly, but they had been working on one hop throws on certain plays, said Mike, the left fielder for CHS. The 1-0 pitch missing, ball 2 to Caraway. And when Riley comes back into the dugout after the poor throw, Hutzler, instead of reading it, just yelling at him and dressing him down, said, you don't have to throw that one hop throw there. You can just throw it directly to the shortstop. The 2-0 pitch fouled at the plate in the count 2-1. Riley said he feared being dressed down after the bad throw, and it was a bad throw, but it was a teachable moment that Carl turned into, hey, I'm going to take you off the hook and just tell you, go ahead and throw that straight to the shortstop next time.
I remember him. I never played for him. He was a Spartan. I was a Raider, but I remember him having the demeanor. He just almost like a Mike Riley. He was very quiet, subdued, calm, and he just commanded respect without demanding it. He just was and he had a run of guys too. I mean, he had a run of guys. He had the Roberts brothers, the Reynolds brothers.
Yep. The 2-1 pitch missing to Trent. Ball 3-1. 2 down, nobody on. The 3-1 pitch is pulled just foul outside of third. Now, Mitch Canham is out in front, and I think he may want to challenge this. The third base umpire, Clint Fagan, said foul. Mitch is walking out, I think, to inquire, can I challenge this? Joey Wong was signaling fair, as all third base coaches do. And Mitch comes out to talk to the third base umpire, Clint Fagan. From our angle here in the McGrath family press box,
I thought it was
a fair ball, too.
What I wonder is if you can, if he called that a fair ball, they could challenge because the play played out. What are you going to do, award him 2?
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Once you say foul ball, dead ball.
Yes.
Yeah. And so there is no challenge. Mitch talked about it with Clint Fagan. What, so you win a national championship as a player, Mitch, and you think you know everything? Mitch just put up 2 fingers.
That's funny. Pat Casey had just some funny stuff.
3 balls, 2 strikes to Trent Caraway. 2 down, nobody on. Braden Sloan to the plate, down and in, ball 4. That's a good plate appearance, and now Trent says something to Braden Sloan like, you're lucky you didn't give up the double to me. Caraway gets down to first, and Sloan and Caraway are jawing at one another. And the home plate umpire, Nate Huber, intervenes, sort of running interference between the two. Caraway taking ball 4.
I think that's more frustration of the call, and nothing that Sloan did, I don't think. I could be wrong about that.
So Caraway, you think that Sloan thinking he'd thrown a third strike and was yelling about it, and then Caraway saying, hey, that pitch missed, man, or whatever? What do you... No,
I didn't think the pitch was close, was it?
Well, no, it was ball 4, and now Kirk Sarloos comes out to say something about Trent Caraway's demeanor going down the line at first. Yeah. Braden Sloan is still staring Caraway down. And I'm thinking, Jimmy, and I have no idea, but I'm thinking
there was something else.
There may have been something else. Sloan's still hot. Sarloos has his say with home plate umpire Nate Huber. But as Jacob Craig comes to the plate, to me it's almost as though Caraway was saying, you're lucky it's not a double or something like that.
That's what I was thinking. It had to do with the foul ball, nothing to do with anything else, just that the frustration about the foul ball.
Right.
Anyway, Sarloos has to do that. He has to don't warn my guy.
Right.
It's your guy.
And I do think, I hate to be so kindergarten-esque. He started it, but I almost thought that Caraway did kind of start it as he trotted down to first. It looked that way to me.
And that's why Sarloos is saying, don't warn my guy.
Jacob Craig takes outside, ball 1. Sloan back to the plate, in there for a strike to Jacob, who hopes to find a pitch he can take a rip at this time around. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 down. 7-2 Beavers. A controversial walk with 2 down for Trent Caraway, held on by Brody Green. Sloan from the stretch delivers. Craig checks his swing on a foul ball. The ball hit Jacob or went off the bat, but either way, it's a strike, and the count 1-2, and Caraway back to first.
Yeah, if the ball the ball can hit you right in the head if you swing at it. If you swing at it, it's a strike.
And it's a dead ball, and the runner returns. So Caraway back to first, an eventful kind of conclusion, perhaps, to the bottom of the 5th inning. 2 outs, nobody on. A walk to Caraway, which leads to some jawing between Trent and Braden Sloan. Now 1-2 to Jacob Craig. Caraway goes, The 1-2 pitch is swung out and missed for strike 3, and Sloan, was he ejected? Braden Sloan comes off. Yeah, you're down 7-2, Braden. Get in the dugout. Strike 3, and the inning is over. Coming off, jawing and yelling. The umpires get together. Sloan with a strikeout. Maybe he's coming out anyway. He should be ejected, and Sarloos perhaps too. Goodbye. 7-2 Beavers. TCU fired up. Go Beavs the rest of the way in this elimination game. We go to the 6th. 7-2 Beavers on the Beaver Sports Network from Learfield.
Blue Sun Inc. Employment Services is your local nonprofit dedicated to providing employment opportunities to veterans and those facing physical and economic challenges within our community. Founded by a veteran in 2013, Blue Sun Inc. has helped more than 2,300 people find employment opportunities, resulting in more than $19 million in wages going back into the local economy. To learn more about Blue Sun Inc. and how you can help provide employment opportunities, please visit BlueSunInc.com. Blue Sun Inc. Employment Services, proud to partner with Oregon State Athletics. Go Beavs!
At Les Schwab, we've been changing the tire game for more than 70 years. Our Go the Extra Mile service means more hustle, less hassle. We design our own exclusive tires to give you more tires made for the road you drive, less compromise. All backed by America's best tire warranty included with every tire we sell. We're talking more unbeatable tire warranty, less charging you extra, like the other guys. It's why you get more from less. Book an appointment at leschwab.com.
We go to the 6th inning. Goss Stadium of Coleman Field suddenly becomes a cauldron of tempers, with both teams getting hot. Mitch Canham spending time between innings visiting with the third base umpire Clint Fagan and the home plate umpire Nate Huber after a little set 2 between Trent Caraway and Braden Sloan. Sloan came off jawing and yapping, and the TCU players all fired up in their dugout. Kirk Sarloos came back out again for a little bit more with the umpiring crew after whatever unfolded between Sloan and Caraway. It was hot, as heated as I've seen in quite a while. Now Dax Whitney with a 7-2 lead goes to work in the top of the 6th inning and starts Cole Kramer, the former Washington State Cougar, with a breaking ball high, ball 1, the 92nd pitch of the afternoon for Dax Whitney. The 1-0 fastball lifted to right center field and playable. Cannon Reeder moving over and back a few steps. Cannon makes the catch. One away to lead off the top of the 6th inning. Dax Whitney getting the all-important leadoff man. Jimmy, all of that seemed to just kind of come out of nowhere. It didn't feel as though there was any historical context for it.
Sometimes there is. I mean,
right.
But, you're looking at Sloan from Roseville, California, in the Sacramento area, Caraway from farther south. I don't know if there is history. And sometimes there is.
Yeah.
And could have been a Cape Cod teammates or something here.
Right.
Sometimes there's something in a player's past where there was a conflict, and then it unfolds here.
A changeup from Dax Whitney, a first pitch strike to Noah Franco. Good pitch. 0-1 the count. Franco is struck out and grounded to second. 7-2 Beavers, top of the 6th inning. Fastball away from Dax in the count, 1-1. Dax up to 94 pitches and looking at his career high 100 against Nebraska in Lincoln. The 1-1 pitch, fastball, a check swing foul. The count 1-2 to Noah Franco. Well, TCU, I got after him a little bit. I think that's maybe the first time I've ever shown any kind of emotion in a booth. But they're fighting for their lives, so they were all fired up, and I guess I can't really blame them for that type of competitiveness. Dax Whitney sails a fastball high, ball 2-2. Sloan certainly came off yapping and was warned, whether I thought maybe for a moment he was ejected, but I think he was just told to shut it down as he came off after the strikeout, winning the battle, so to speak, in the inning after they walked Caraway, leading to the drawing between Trent and Sloan. The 2-2 pitch misses down and in, ball 3. 3-2 to Noah Franco. 7-2 Beavers, 1 out, nobody on in the 6th.
You know what I say, Mike? Probably a 21-year-old kid just out there competing, and he got emotional.
The 3-2 pitch, fastball fouled back. It remains 3 balls and 2 strikes. Joe Van Horn says he hasn't seen anyone up in the Beavers' pen. That was 9 minutes ago. 3-2 the count.
I would imagine this is it, though.
I would think. He's approaching the 100-pitch mark. The 3-2 changeup, a two-hopper towards Arquette. Iva's got to wait from behind the bag, slings to first. 2 down. That's a great pitch right there, Jimmy. He commanded the change at the outset of the at-bat, threw a changeup for a called strike, and then gets Franco to hit a little topper on a 3-2 change for the out. 2 down in the 6th. Chase Brunson, the batter.
Did you see Franco run to first base?
Yeah,
it appears to be laboring. Maybe there's something's a little tight or a leg is sore, but
I thought the play was going to be closer. Is what
and even on the earlier, he struck out earlier, but the ball got away from Wilson Weber a little bit. I thought it was going to be a close play at first, and it wasn't. And he's an outfielder. Just wondering if he's 100%.
Chase Brunson takes a strike. That was pitch number 100 for Dax Whitney. His career high 101st pitch is a breaking ball, swung on and missed. The count 0-2, and a chance for Dax to go out on the right kind of note. And a day where he's been absolutely brilliant. 11 strikeouts. Comes back to the plate. The 0-2 breaking ball is down. 1-2 the count. One would think this is it for Dax, even with Hank Hager reporting that he doesn't see anyone in the Beavers bullpen.
No, he could go. I mean, he could go back out there.
He could.
He's a big, strong kid, and he's done.
Yeah,
either
for the
way.
weekend. Yeah. The 1-2 pitch, fastball up, ball 2, 2-2, 2 outs, nobody on in the 6th, 7-2 Beavers.
And the other thing is, in these situations, Oregon State's going to wait as long as they can just to warm the guy up. Knowing that they're not going to waste any pitches in the bullpen.
2-2 breaking ball, swung on and missed. Strike 3, and Dax pumps his fist now, but he does it in the direction of the Beavers dugout as he moves across the third base line towards the dugout and what I believe will be his final pitch of the day, and he jumps up and pumps his fist towards Beaver Nation behind the Beaver dugout as the inning comes to an end.
And they're not honoring Coach Kirk Sarloos. They're booing. They're booing the pitcher Braden Sloan.
As Braden comes back out to the mound with a smile on his face, loosening up as we go to the bottom of the 6th. But Dax Whitney showing some fire and emotion as his day has probably come to an end. But maybe not. We'll see. He's pitched an amazing 6, 12 strikeouts. We go to the bottom of the 6th, the Beavers 7, TCU 2 on the Beaver Sports Network from Learfield.
Hit a home run today by joining Oregon State Credit Union, where your money works harder for you. Enjoy member-focused financial advice and saving money with competitive rates and fees. We started at Oregon State University and we're still the official credit union of Oregon State Athletics. Join Oregon State Credit Union today. Visit one of our 15 branches or join online at OregonStateCU.com/join.
Hey Beaver Nation, here at Mr. Plywood we know what it means to build. Locally owned and operated for over 50 years, Mr. Plywood goes beyond building decks, storage sheds, and fences. We help build the community. We offer family-style customer service with a friendly and knowledgeable staff that will help you with your next project. If you need hardwoods, plywood, fasteners, or help planning your next project, come down and pay us a visit. We would love to help you on your next project.
Beaver Baseball is brought to you by Knife River. Knife River is building Beaver Nation and making communities stronger. Knife River, a people-first company. 7-2 Beavers, bottom of the 6th inning. Braden Sloan, pitching on talent and some fire and emotion, delivers to Tice Peterson. A bunt by Tice up along first. The throw from the catcher, Nolan Traeger, pulls Brody Green off the bag. However, I'm a little concerned here, Jimmy, that Tice may not have been running in the designated lane, making it difficult for Traeger to find a path for the throw. And Kirk Sarloos is out making that point, and I think he's going to win the point.
If he's in that box, he's fine.
But he wasn't.
But Brody Green there's two things at play here. That's one of them, and the other one is Brody Green saying he was actually on the base.
Yeah, well, that I don't. I think Brody's wrong about that. The throw pulled him off.
But that's what Brody was saying.
I don't think so. I think Brody is saying check about the lane. I don't think Brody believes he was on the bag, because if he does, I can sell him almost anything. I think Peterson is going to be called out here after a review of whether or
not being in the running lane.
Right.
But I will say.
Now, the home plate umpire has announced why there's going to be a review and what is being reviewed. I didn't hear it, and I don't know if his microphone failed or not. What were you going to say, Jimmy?
That Brody Green appears to be off the base.
He's off the base. That's not an issue.
But he turned and pointed to the base.
He did?
Yeah.
Well, he's okay. I'm saying the only thing at issue
my worry
here
is the other. I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Tice is going to be called out. He wasn't in the designated lane. That's my belief. And if I were Oregon State, that's the argument I'd be making.
Yeah.
I think Tice is going to be called out here. We have hit 203 on this beautiful day in the Pacific Northwest. A little breezy, a little cloudy, but beautiful. 7-2 Beavers in the bottom of the sixth. And as the review ensues, we want to pause and let our network stations identify themselves. 10-second break for station ID. This is Beaver Baseball from Learfield. And a part of the reason, too, that I think the Beaver fans became so fired up, I can't see that. Aaron's giving me the official number and putting it in pencil, and I couldn't read it.
It's because
for the attendance
it's because of
today.
that plastic that he's writing on.
Okay. We're getting the official attendance for today after yesterday's Goss Stadium at Coleman Field record.
Want me to tell you what it says?
4,339. Thank you, Doc. Today, 4,237. Another sellout crowd and a great crowd, 42-37. Jimmy, there was a tweet by someone, or an ex, whatever these days, on social media, from somebody within the TCU family, and I'm not sure whom. People were saying it was their play-by-play guy. I don't think so, maybe. I don't know who it was, but a TCU fan, representative or whatever, somebody within the TCU family said TCU got a favorable draw going to Corvallis. It's an easy atmosphere to play in, or something to that effect, and so they got an easy draw. That, I think, Beaver Nation, who took notice of such an act on social media along those lines, I think have been bringing it a little bit more passionately. I mean, to me, that's a lack of understanding. If Pat Casey said the environment in Fort Worth was one of the more hostile, difficult environments and harsh and all of that, yeah, it was. I've been there twice and know that Pat's right. But I think Goss Stadium at Coleman Field is a tough atmosphere for a visitor to play in. And I have a feeling Beaver Nation, in their reaction to Braden Sloan and his histrionics, and when he took the mound again here in the bottom of the sixth, we're trying to say, hey, it's not such an easy street environment in Corvallis as maybe that extra thought.
Somebody. That's the thing about those.
Yeah, right. Who is that? Right.
I mean, that's why I got off it in about 2020.
I don't blame you.
I quit.
Yeah.
But here's in this great world of ours and instant replay, which it really contributed in a lot of ways. I mean, there's plays that
took them 8 minutes last night down the road.
Yeah, but this took too long.
Well, and they're going to come back and I think call Tice out. That's my guess, for not running in the designated lane. Here comes the decision, and you'll see the TCU fans get fired up. Tice Peterson is out. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me at all. And I said it right to you right from the start. He didn't get in the lane. Now, Mitch, I'm not sure what Mitch's counter is going to be here.
I think he's just going to ask you to clarify.
Yeah, what did you rule?
Yeah,
But Tice was not in the designated lane, therefore he's out.
No, he was. The whole off the base thing.
That's
was
not
not even a part of it.
No.
And that's actually with the double base, the safety base. You actually want to be. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Be in foul territory in the designated lane, running to the outside, the orange base in foul territory.
Yeah, I always thought it was a weird rule that you're supposed to run in foul ground and then all of a sudden get in fair ground to touch the base.
Right.
But with that safety base, I mean, shoot, you're right where you need to be.
So that took a while, but it's an out.
One out, I'm putting.
Yeah, Tice Peterson. Out number one. It was a check swing, wasn't it?
No, he bunted.
No, he bunted. It was a bunt. It happened so long ago, I can't remember. Easton Tolt, the batter. Braden Sloan delivers down and away, ball 1-0. 7-2 Beavers, that remains the same. One out, nobody on, bottom of the sixth. What's become more of a cloudy than sunny day. TCU has a couple of guys up. It looks like a righty and a lefty, perhaps, back of Sloan, who has done a nice job. The 1-0 pitch to Easton hit foul down the left field side and out of play. And the count 1-1 to Easton Tolt in the bottom of the sixth. Now, Dax Whitney on the other side of things, Jim, we were talking about it between innings. Dax is at a career-high 104 pitches, but he's looking strong and solid and comfortable. He may get another inning, try to get deeper into this one with the Beavers needing all the arms they could have for the rest of this Corvallis Regional. Ground ball to second, fielded by Cole Kramer. Cole throws out Easton Tolt. 2 down, nobody on. Iva Arquette, the batter.
And how many innings did Whitney throw last week in the scrimmage? I mean, so he's kind of he is rested, and again, he's not going to pitch again until
next weekend
year,
if he can get there.
Or
right.
next week. I mean, so he's got all the time in the world. But much like Oregon State trying to extend Whitney, give Braden Sloan credit because TCU's path to get out of this regional is the same. They got to get a lot of guys getting a lot of innings in. And though he's given up 4 runs, he has bridged the gap. I mean, this is his 5th inning.
The pitch to Iva Arquette, a strike. The 0-1 pitch, changeup swung on and missed, and the count 0-2. No, I think Braden has been excellent today. I mean, yeah, you could look at excellent. He gave up 2 home runs. Well, yeah, but everything else, I mean, he's kept the game in sight. And he's done a good job to keep the Beavers, who were red hot early, from continuing on that path. 7-2 in the sixth. Iva takes off speed and low. 1-2 the count. 2 outs, nobody on. 7-2 Beavers, bottom of the sixth. Arquette doubled in the first, hit by a pitch in the second, struck out in the fourth against Sloan. Breeze is blowing across now from left towards right. Arquette swings and grounds one. A fair ball back of third, fielded by Jack Bell. And Bell comes off the bag, tags out Iva Arquette, or Brody Green comes off the bag to tag out Iva. Kind of an awkward play at first, and Jimmy, you know of those. Those can be problematic. The inning is over. The Beavers go in order, and Brady Sloan has now pitched 3 consecutive scoreless innings to indeed keep his TCU club very much in the fight. We are through 6. The Beavers 7, TCU 2. The Beavers are going to the bullpen. So Dax Whitney, when he came off, fired up, saluting the crowd, pumping his fist as he jumped down into the dugout. Must have known that, hey, we want you to get one more hitter and your day is done. Maybe that was what Rich said, so go get him, and he did. Nelson Keljo into the ball game as we go to the 7th. Through 6, the Beavers 7, TCU 2 on the Beaver Sports Network from Learfield.
Whether it's OSU Game Day or you're getting ready for OSU Game Day, make sure Dairy Mart is on your playlist. With 39 neighborhood stores throughout the Willamette Valley, Dairy Mart has everything you'll need for a great game. Beer and pop, ice, chips, healthy, fresh-to-go snacks, even hot deli items, and your favorite Lock Me dairy products. Stop into your local Dairy Mart and get what you really want for Beavers Game Day.
Dairy Mart is here, man. Dairy Mart's right here.
A lot goes into Oregon State athletes reaching peak performance for game day, including the right nutrition. At Wilbur Ellis, we know that healthy crop performance requires the same attention to nutrition as an athlete. That's why we use benchmark data points to maximize crop productivity through nutrient efficiency. For 100 years, family-owned Wilbur Ellis has been partnering with Oregon's farmers to grow healthier crops. That is the winning ag experience for Beaver Nation. Locally provided by Wilbur Ellis.
Through 6 innings at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field, the Beavers 7 runs, 6 hits, and 1 error. Texas Christian University 2 runs, 4 hits, and no errors. We go to the 7th, and Nelson Keljo has been summoned out of the Beavers bullpen The Beavers 9 outs away from keeping their season alive. They've gone a little quiet offensively, and now it's up to the Beaver bullpen to try to bring this thing home and get the Beavers into tomorrow, a day where, to keep their season alive, they would need to win 2 and then try to get it to a winner-take-all on Monday. The line for Dax Whitney, 6 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, both earned, 1 walk, 12 strikeouts, a career-high 104 pitches. And now Nelson Keljo into the ballgame in the top of the 7th, 7-2 Beavers. At BECU, it's a member-owned not-for-profit credit union. They're proud to support Oregon State athletics, and they put their members' best interest first. BECU, power in people, insured by NCAA, membership required, restrictions apply. Keljo to the plate, first pitch fastball at 94. In there for a strike to Nolan Traeger, the left-hand hitting catcher. 0-1 the count.
Keljo wears that black uniform pretty darn well. He looks strong.
He does, and the strike one pitch is a fast one down and away. 1-1 the count. Keljo, 3-2, making his 14th appearance. He started 10 games, an ERA of 3.86, 49 innings, just 34 hits allowed, 29 walks, 52 strikeouts, a batting average against of 191. Fastball up and in, ball 2, 2-1 to Nolan Traeger, who against Dax Whitney drew the only walk yielded by Dax and struck out. Dax struck out every hitter in the TCU lineup. Fastball inside, ball 3, 3-1. And the numbers that I gave Jimmy on Nelly, really solid and good. Walks are a little high, and that can get him into trouble. And he's behind the first hitter that he faces, 3-1, and delivers ball 4. So that's an inauspicious beginning to an outing, and Rich will need to, I would think, to have somebody up immediately, because when Nelly is off, it can be a little difficult for him to work through that. And he issues a first batter walk to Nolan Traeger, bringing Anthony Silva to the plate, and it provokes a meeting at the mound between Nelson Weber, Trent Caraway, or Nelson Keljo, Trent Caraway, and Wilson Weber. And Nelly will try to kind of settle back in now, pound the zone with Anthony Silva at the plate. But you can't fool around if lack of command presents itself. No.
And not in an elimination game. I mean, even though, yes, you want to do everything you can to save arm, you got to win this one.
Keljo to the plate, fastball fouled back, coming in at 96, which according thus to the radar gun showing the results out in the scoreboard in right center, 95, pardon me. That's still Dax Whitney, I think, hit 95 a couple of times. Pretty firm, the hard-throwing, physical left-hander Nelson Keljo ahead of the count to Silva. 0-1, delivers, base hit into left center field. Traeger will stop at second. Anthony Silva, a base hit. Isaac Cadena, who homered in his last at-bat, the batter. 2 on, nobody out, 7-2 Beavers, and it's the first time, Jimmy, in the game that the Horned Frogs, save for the second inning when Dax Whitney struck out the side, that they've had 2 runners on at the same time. Yes, Cadena hit a 2-run home run in the 5th, and he comes back to the plate now with a chance to do some big damage. But it's the first time since the second inning we've seen 2 Horned Frog runners on. Fastball in there for a strike. Keljo could use an out about now. 0-1 the count, 7-2 Beavers in the 7th.
You mentioned his brother played for Long Beach State, was here just a couple of weeks ago, and he was a good player. He plays first base, second base. He played shortstop that weekend.
The strike one pitch is a Baltimore chopper foul up along third. Wilson Weber fielded it about a quarter of the way up the line in foul grounds, and the count goes to 0-2. I couldn't read it off the plate. Thought for a moment it might be fair and trouble, but it's 0-2.
Yeah, I'm not so sure that. I thought Wilson Weber really popped out of there pretty good, but I'm not so sure he gets an out on that just because of how high that ball bounced.
A slow walk back to the dish for Isaac Cadena, the left-hand hitting sophomore, with Nelson Keljo coming into the ball game after a tremendous performance by Dax Whitney. Keljo issuing a walk, giving up a base hit. Ahead of the count to Isaac Cadena, 0-2. Brody Green on deck. Nelly set, the left-hander to the plate. Fastball slashed foul towards Waldo Hall.
There's your 96.
And that is a 96er, and the count remains 0-2.
Good time to just throw that slider just to get a feel for it. Has just throw nothing but fastballs. You're 0-2.
Nelly looking at his pitch signaling device to see what Coach Dorman has called. 2 on, nobody out for TCU. The strike 2 breaking ball hit foul to the left. Now, that's one of those pitches, Jimmy, that you've been talking about, that it wasn't a great pitch, but it was close enough that the hitter felt he better take a hack at it.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't very. He didn't get on top of it, and so it stayed flat and high. Actually, a good pitch to hit. Probably too high to be a real good pitch to hit.
Cadena up there with a count of 0-2, 2 on, nobody out. Keljo to the plate, swung on and foul tipped at the plate. Webby not quite able to hang on, and the count remains 0-2. Good job by Cadena to get a piece of it and stay alive.
2 consecutive 0-2 pitches that he fouls off.
Nolan Traeger at second, Anthony Silva at first, nobody out. Top of the 7th inning, 7-2 Beavers in this elimination affair. Beaver Nation trying to get behind Nelly with rhythmical hand clapping, an off-speed pitch in the turf. The count 1-2. Keljo and Wilson Weber the battery, Tice Peterson at first, A.J. Singer at second, Iva Arquette at short, Trent Caraway at third, Gavin Turley in left, Cannon Reeder in center, Easton Talt in right. Strong breezes blowing out to right field. Cadena, a 2-run home run in his last at-bat. Swings and misses at the change. Strike 3. 1 away. Nelson Keljo executes an excellent pitch for a big out, and now Brody Green, the batter.
And that was better on the breaking ball. He got on top of it, threw it, and it had that good hard down action. And he got his man. That was a big out for Oregon State. If you're TCU, you're feeling like this is it, right? We got first and second, no outs. Mm-hmm. We need big. We're down 5 with three innings to go. This is kind of your inning because you've got those guys on base, and that was a big out for Keljo to poke a hole in it.
Nelson to the plate, fastball swung on and missed. 0-1 to Brody Green, who is grounded to first and struck out. Every hitter in the lineup for the Horned Frogs has struck out today. Dax Whitney got everybody 1 through 9. And now Keljo gets Isaac Cadena. 13 strikeouts for Beaver pitching. 2 on, 1 out. Nelson back to the plate. Fastball in there. Strike 2. 0-2 to Brody Green.
It didn't get any easier in terms of velocity. Whitney and his 94-mile-an-hour fastball heads to the dugout, and here comes Keljo at 95 and 96.
And from the other side, too. So you've seen it from the right side, now from the left side. Keljo ahead of the count, 0-2 with 2 on and 1 out. Back to the plate in the turf. Good block at 97. Wilson Weber keeps it in front of the plate. 1-2 the count. Dialogue going on out at second between A.J. Singer and the runner Nolan Traeger at second base. 7-2 Beavers in the 7th. Keljo to the plate. A chopper to Caraway. Steps on third for 1. On to first. Double play. And the inning is over. A 5-3 double play ball. The inning got off to a bit of a rocky start for Nelly, but he comes back after a walk and a base hit with a strikeout and a double play. Fans on their feet for the 7th inning stretch. 4,237 the announced attendance today. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning. The Beavers 7, TCU 2 on the Beaver Sports Network from Learfield.
Searching for a job, a mentor, or a candidate to fill your open vacancy? Find what you're looking for with alumni from Oregon State University. OSU Connections is a networking and career site exclusively for OSU alumni and students. List your Beaver-owned business in a directory, browse or post on the job board, talk to an OSU grad working at your dream company, or seek out advice as you change industries. Leverage your network at osuconnections.org.
Today's game's Benny's Buddies Pet Spotlight, the official fan club of your favorite pet, brought to you by your local Toyota dealers, Golden Retrievers Parker, Reeser, and Gill. These 3 pups are inseparable and love sporting their beaver gear. Sign up your pet today at osubbeavers.com/Benny's Buddies. Each member gets an official social media filter, and Oregon State will be giving away collars, leashes, treats, toys, and so much more.
Welcome back to Reeser Stadium, where we go to the bottom. Reeser Stadium. Welcome back to Goss Stadium, where we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. And a new pitcher, Mike, for TCU.
Cademan gets the call. Cademan Parker. Now, we go to the bottom of the 7th at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field. But, Jim, you may be looking ahead. We've got a lot of dates coming up at Reeser in the fall, and I'm kind of excited about that. We've talked about Trent Bray being around, Danny Langsdorff. I saw Mike Cavanaugh here, too. Ryan Gunderson. The football coaches love the game of baseball, and if they're here, they're enjoying it with 4,237. But football just around the corner, too.
Yeah, a lot of home dates. Unprecedented 5-week homestand in later in the season. That's just going to be unbelievable. It's kind of testy early, and there is some travel. But 5 weeks at home. That's 4 games and a bye in there. And, of course, 2 games against the Cougars, and I just love that. It's a staple of the NFL, and that's a pretty popular league, that NFL. And it's the Cougars and the Beavers. I like the concept of going home and home with them.
Getting some input on the little set, too, between Trent Caraway and Braden Sloan. Sloan did a great job for TCU. He's out. Cademan Parker in. Our correspondent, Joe Van Horn, following Lydia Parker's lead, and phraseology that I have engaged in at times as Gavin Turley steps in. 7-2 Beavers, bottom of the 7th. Joe Van Horn says this Joker Parker's been warming up the last several innings. So the Joker, Cademan Parker in, delivers to Gavin. Down and away, ball 1-0. Turley today has walked twice and struck out. An RBI away from becoming the RBI king with the Beavers. Takes a fastball from Parker for a strike, and Beaver Nation a little bit upset with the call by home plate umpire Nate Huber, giving Nate the business in this very soft, light, easy-going atmosphere at Goss.
Gavin didn't like it much
no,
either.
He didn't. 1 ball, 1 strike. Cademan Parker, long, lanky righty, delivers away. Ball 2. 2-1. Gavin Turley, Wilson Weber, A.J. Singer, bottom of the 7th. 7-2 Beavers trying to play their way into tomorrow. They need to win 4 straight games. 6 outs away from getting one of them done. Need to win 4 to keep the season alive. Turley takes a fastball for a strike. And again, Gavin seemed a little unimpressed by the pitch and took it and not happy. He backs out as the count runs even to 2-2. Dave from Tumwater suggesting that Braden Sloan apparently said to Caraway, get back in the box after that foul ball play.
Oh,
the 2-2, there we go. The 2-2 pitch.
So there was some dialogue, and then Caraway after the walk responded to that.
Yeah.
So I'm out of the box
now. So maybe he started it.
Interesting, Mike. This guy, Cademan Parker, this is his first relief appearance on the year. He's been a starter, 12 starts.
He missed with an off-speed pitch. Now comes back 3-2. Breaking ball swung on and missed, strike 3. Turley strikes out. Good job by Cademan Parker with TCU just trying to hang in by the skin of their teeth in this one. And they go with Parker. You were sort of expecting Nate Stern, but it's Parker who gets the call. Cademan's call out of the bullpen, making his 13th appearance and first relief appearance. 3-2, 5.62, 48 innings, 52 hits. 19 walks, 33 strikeouts, a batting average against of .272. Wilson Weber steps in. First pitch slider, a strike. Good pitch. The count 0-1.
They're really leaning in on you got to win this one, which obviously you got to do, but because he would be the starter. If the next game, he would be their next starter.
The strike 1 pitch to Webby, checks his swing on a breaking ball. No swing, not even close, but an appeal, and the first base umpire confirms Blake Felix no swing. 1-1 the count to Wilson Weber. A 3-run homer to dead center in the first to help set a tone after Dax Whitney had struck out the side in the top of the first inning. Weber chases a fastball at 96. So he's bringing it pretty well, too, is Cademan Parker. And the count goes to 1-2 with one out, nobody on. Jimmy, the Beavers 3 in the first, a run in the second, 3 in the third, 4 homers for the first 3 innings. They've quieted down. Parker delivers down and away in the count 2-2.
Yeah, and that's where the Sloan, he did give up the 2-run home run to Tice Peterson back in the third inning, but he from that point forward was very, very good, and he kept TCU in this baseball game.
No doubt. Breaking ball to the backstop off the mid of the catcher, Nolan Traeger. 3-2 the count. A.J. Singer homered to lead off that third inning, and then later Braden Sloan against Tice Peterson. Tice may have gotten a little help from those breezes blowing out and hit a 2-run homer. The Beavers were up 7-0 at that point. Back in the third. Now 7-2 in the seventh. Weber, a line drive to center field. Chase Brunson is right there. Straightaway center to make the catch. 2 down. A.J. Singer, the batter.
The reason that's an out is because it was a good pitch. The ball was in the inner third, up a little bit, and it tied Weber up just enough. I mean, he put a good swing on it, but the ball got to him, and long fly out to center.
The Beavers have not had a hit since Tice Peterson's 2-run home run in the third. They lead it 7-2 in the bottom of the seventh inning. Cademan Parker kicks and delivers. Singer a chopper foul towards Joey Wong. No balls and a strike.
You heard Mitch Canham in the pregame interview, and he said this Beaver team, we're a good fastball hitting team. And so they match up better against a guy like Cademan Parker, even though the numbers flash 96. They would rather see that than that 70-mile-an-hour changeup.
Singer, a fly ball to right and deep. Back goes Franco, has a play, leaps up at the warning track, and makes the catch up against the fence. Good play by Noah Franco. And with the wind blowing out to right, I thought for a moment A.J. might have found the seats again, but he didn't get quite enough, and again, that's because I think of the considerable stuff that Cademan Parker brings. So 2 good swings, but outs, and the Beavers go in order in the seventh, Jimmy.
Yeah, this was a well-struck ball on a pretty good pitch. Singer stayed with it, but the best thing of all was the play made by the right fielder. He navigated the wall, jumped, and made the play.
We go to the eighth, the Beavers 7, TCU 2. On the Beaver Sports Network from Learfield.
Pacific Office Automation is an official sponsor of Oregon State Athletics. Let us help you create your total office solution with copiers and printers, security systems and cameras, managed IT and cloud services, unified communications and telephones, including carrier services, plus temperature sensing kiosks and more. The one source for all your office technology solutions. Go to PacificOffice.com. Pacific Office Automation. Problem solved.
BECU. You've heard the name, seen the letters. But what does BECU stand for? Simply put, not-for-profit BECU stands for people. For charting your own path, for choosing what's right for members instead of what's profitable for someone else, because they are the reason our credit union exists. So we do everything in our power to help them reach their financial goals. BECU, power in people. All Pacific Northwest residents are eligible to join, federally insured by NCUA.
All health plans do what's required. Pacific Source Health Plans does more than that. They provide human service, for example, not automated phone trees. And Pacific Source offers extra support for members who may be struggling. Pacific Source Health Plans, going beyond what's required to put members first. Top of the eighth inning, Mike Parker with Jim Wilson at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field. The Beavers leading TCU 7-2. Nelson Keljo got off to a little bit of a shaky start last inning, walk, base hit, but then a strikeout and a double play ball. And now goes to work in the eighth against Jack Bell and starts Jack with a strike. And a little bit like Gavin Turley, I think Jack thought that pitch might have been off. But it is 0-1. To the leadoff hitter, Jack Bell, who struck out twice and flied to left. The strike one pitch from Nelly misses outside. 1 ball and 1 strike.
First thing that came to mind, Kid from Texas, last name Bell. Is he Buddy Bell's son?
And he is.
That's funny.
The 1-1 pitch, foul back in the count 1-2, but not of the great baseball player Buddy Bell, but he has a dad named Buddy.
Who's probably named after Buddy Bell.
He could be. Man, that's quite possible. 18-year major leaguer. The 1-2 pitch on the way, rolled slowly foul towards first base coach John DeLaura. The count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. Hey, one other note, even though there isn't a connection. I mentioned Sammy Baugh earlier. Something else I learned about Slingin' Sam, the greatest Texas Christian University Horned Frog athlete ever. 1-2 the count, 7-2 Beavers in the 8th. The Beaver fans, 4,237. Again, with the rhythmical hand clapping, and it helps Keljo with a swing and a miss on the strikeout to lead off the top of the 8th inning. 1 gone. Sawyer Strohsnyder, the batter. Robert Duvall. Jimmy, did you ever watch the miniseries Lonesome Dove back in the day? Have you ever seen any of those?
Heard of it, but no.
Sammy Baugh went on to act in westerns during his career and after his career, and Duvall loved the way Sammy Baugh acted. So in 1988, before Duvall made Lonesome Dove, he goes to visit Sammy Baugh and patterned his character, his legendary character of Gus, after Slingin' Sammy Baugh, which, again, is a obscure footnote in entertainment history. That jumped out at me when I read it the other day.
What was he prolific in college? I mean, I know he
Yes,
was.
He was.
I know for sure he was in professional.
Strohsnyder taking the first pitch from Nelson Keljo for a strike. The 0-1 pitch to Sawyer, the nation's triples leader, fouled off towards Waldo Hall. 1907, Waldo went up. Not sure when Slingin' Sammy was born, but maybe a little bit after that. But Sammy, great career at TCU. Breaking ball pulled up along first at Tice Peterson, looks it in, runs it to the bag. 2 down in the top of the 8th inning. Cole Kramer, the batter. 7-2 Beavers. Keljo trying to get the Beavers through the 8th and put themselves 3 outs away from continuing their season. Jimmy, let's play it forward a little bit. If he does get through the 8th, do you shut him down?
No.
You don't. You let him finish this out? I'm just trying to think about Monday.
I am too, but the thing is, I'm thinking about today.
I understand.
And you're just asking another guy to be good, right? And he's
developing a bit of a rhythm.
Yeah, he's developing a rhythm. He got a strikeout, then a double play, and then this inning a strikeout, a weak ground ball to first.
Okay.
To bring in, now you're asking another guy to be good. Maybe the next guy's, it's not his day. Just let this guy finish.
Yeah, Cole takes low, ball 1-0. The 1-0 pitch to Kramer misses low for ball 2. Cole has struck out twice and plied to center. 7-2 Beavers, top of the 8th inning. 2 outs, nobody on. Keljo, big physical lefty, heaves aside, comes to the plate a little low. Ball 3-0 to Kramer. Noah Franco, a left-handed hitter, on deck. And so you're not, here I am trying to play it forward. Got to get through this inning. The 3-0 pitch, a strike, and the count 3-1.
Yeah, the beauty of Keljo, the situation he's in now, is that last year at this time, he was a reliever. And he was very good. Probably the team's best pitcher at season's end last year.
The 3-1 pitch, fastball foul back, and Nelly trying to come all the way back from the 3-0 count. The Beaver fans certainly recognize that, and they're on it again, clapping rhythmically, enthusiastically in support of Keljo, trying to retire the Horned Frogs in order. 2 outs, nobody on in the 8th. 7-2 Beavers. The 3-2 pitch coming up to Cole Kramer, low and away, ball 4, and that's a good plate appearance by the former Washington State Cougar All Pac-12 player last year. Kramer draws the walk, heads down to first. Noah Franco, the batter. Noah has struck out, grounded to second, grounded to short. And Nelly still needs another out here in the 8th. Forget about, should he pitch the 9th? And he's got to look for out number 24.
Yeah, he's got to get this guy here. Right. Got to get to the 9th.
Left on left, Keljo to the plate. Fastball, a strike, and the count 0-1 to Noah Franco.
Franco, one of 3 starters in this TCU lineup that are true freshmen, and all 3 huge contributors. The catcher, Strohsnyder, and Franco.
Franco making the nice catch to end the bottom of the 8th inning up against the fence and right. Now at the plate against Nelly. Fastball swung on and missed. And Keljo ahead of the count here. No balls and 2 strikes with 2 down, a man on. And the Beavers trying to get through the 8th inning as they try to get through this ball game and keep their 2025 season alive. No balls and 2 strikes with 2 down. Ivar catch shaded way up the middle, nearly behind the bag at second. Singer essentially straight away at second. Keljo set, the strike 2, fastball grounded to third. Trent Carraway will go the short way to the shortstop. Arquette, who was near the bag for the force, 5-6 to retire the side. Keljo and the Beavers, whether it's Keljo, we'll see, but the Beavers are 3 outs away from eliminating TCU and keeping their own season alive into tomorrow. We go to the bottom of the 8th. The Beavers 7, TCU 2 on the Beaver Sports Network from Learfield.
Hit a home run today by joining Oregon State Credit Union, where your money works harder for you. Enjoy member-focused financial advice and saving money with competitive rates and fees. We started at Oregon State University and we're still the official credit union of Oregon State Athletics. Join Oregon State Credit Union today. Visit one of our 15 branches or join online at OregonStateCU.com/join.
Hey Beaver fans! Thinking of hosting a game day watch party or just enjoying some good food with good friends? Reese's deliciously convenient deli salads and ready to heat and share side dishes are always a fan favorite and ready for fun when you are. And as Reese's celebrates 75 years of good times, we can confirm that time flies when you're having fun. Here's to 75 years and counting. Reese's, we're made for good times.
Bottom of the 8th inning at Goss Stadium of Coleman Field. The Beavers leading Texas Christian University 7-2 in this elimination affair. The Beavers were hot early. Dax Whitney struck out the side to open the ball game in the top of the first. In the bottom half, Wilson Weber a 3-run homer. In the second inning, Trent Carraway led off the frame with a solo homer. In the third inning, A.J. Singer led off the inning with a homer. And then with 2 down in the inning, Tice Peterson greeted reliever Braden Sloan with a 2-run home run to put the Beavers up 7-0. Now Sloan, to his great credit, settled down thereafter. He ends up going 5 innings, 2 hits, 3 runs all earned, 3 walks and 9 strikeouts. But he did an excellent job to keep his team very much in the game. Cademan Parker, in his second inning of work, retired the Beavers in order last inning. The Beavers have gone quiet since that 3-run uprising in the third. 4 straight scoreless innings. Cademan Parker delivers to Reeder a strike. The count 0-1. 6'4", 190-pound right-hander back to the plate and misses outside. 1 ball and 1 strike the count. Cannon Reeder, Trent Carraway, Jacob Craig, the scheduled hitters. Bottom of the 8th, 7-2 Beavs.
Seemed like last inning that Parker got the benefit of a couple of calls that seemed maybe low, perhaps, to at least Landon Turley thought so. And then I thought the first pitch here to Cannon Reeder was high. A fastball, I thought it was above the belt. He got that call as well.
Reeder swings and misses. The count 1-2, maybe a cut fastball.
Good, hard,
it was good, but it had some movement and little less than the velo at 94. Delivers 1-2. Reeder a pop fly to shallow center field. Chase Brunson moving in and under and makes the catch. 1 away in the bottom of the 8th inning. Trent Carraway, the hitter. Carraway, the last time he was at the plate, that was a bit of an adventure.
It looks like Macias has moved into the on-deck circle.
Okay, Dallas would hit for Jacob Craig. That was an eventful plate appearance last time around for Trent, no doubt.
It was.
And we're being told that when he hit the ball that appeared to us to be fair, called foul, that Trent was a little slow in getting back in the box. And Braden Sloan, according to reports near the fray, said that Sloan was sort of yelling at Carraway to get back in the box. So that, in a sense, might have begun that whole thing.
First shot fired.
Carraway takes strike 1 from Cademan Parker. 0-1 the count. Cademan back to the plate. under the hands. Carraway fouls it. That's a tough pitch. 0-2 the count. Parker's got pretty good-looking stuff, too.
Yeah, he's got a live arm, kind of whippy, but he's got some height to him as well, and the velocity shows.
No balls and 2 strikes to Carraway, who's homered, struck out, and walked. Strike 2, breaking ball, pulled foul outside of third. And the count remains no balls and 2 strikes. Carraway is homer, Jimmy, in 3 straight games. I mean, whether you start to speak in terms of Tyler Malone and company, you hope so if you play into tomorrow.
Was he 5 or 6? How many did Tyler Malone hit in consecutive?
I have to double check with Hank as Carraway takes just outside. Hank, do you remember how many straight games Tyler Malone? 5. Oh, he's only hit 2. I thought he homered against Long Beach State. The Friday game. Okay, so I wasn't here. Much lost on me.
Dismissed.
He's only hit in 2 straight. The 1-2 pitch on the way, down and away to Carraway. Ball 2, 2-2. Malone hit homers in 5 straight games.
I remember that. He was hot.
Yep. 2 balls, 2
breaking balls, left-handed breaking balls.
I mean, he was in his zone, wasn't he? Yeah. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. 7-2 Beavers, bottom of the 8th. Cademan Parker comes to the plate. Carraway, a chopper foul. Joey Wong, one of the great shortstops and second baseman in Beaver history, makes the play casually, and it remains 2-2.
I like it when those coaches get a little older, my age or whatnot. That's not an easy play anymore.
No, it isn't. No. Joey made it look easy.
No,
good
very
for him.
easy.
He's got a few years to catch up with you and me. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Parker delivers just inside, ball 3. Took a little something off of the cut, but it's a good-looking pitch. And he's been ranging from 88 to 95 on that velo, and the count now full to Carraway, who's, to me, showing like he's a hitter again. Looking the way he's swinging and competing at the plate to run it to 3-2 from 0-2. Parker's 3-2 pitch, high, ball 4, 2 wit. And now Carraway trots down to first.
I thought he might have gave an extra look.
And we're going to see Dallas Macias pinch hit. Who did Carraway?
Carraway just one extra little look and
to Parker.
Back towards the mound. But that to interpret a look, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But he did. He after the walk, kind of looked out to the mound.
Rasheed Wallace was once teed up for a look on his face without saying a word.
Looks can kill, they say.
Yeah. Dallas Macias, the pinch hitter for Jacob Craig. Bottom of the 8th inning, 7-2 Beavers. A 1-out walk to Trent Carraway. Dallas takes a fastball for a strike. 0-1 the count. Jacob had walked and struck out in his last 2 at-bats.
I think the only pitch that he offered at in his last 2 at-bats hit him.
That's true. The strike 1 pitch in the turf. And the count 1-1 to Dallas Macias. I look at Dallas, I look at the numbers, and it's one of those, as we said with Mitch earlier in the broadcast in the pregame show, occasionally like Boughton, tell your statistics to shut up because they can be loud. The 1-1 pitch to Dallas, fastball on the inside corner for a strike. 1-2 the count. Carraway at first, 1 out, 7-2 Beavers, bottom of the 8th. Dallas, it just can't feel good to look up and see a $151 on the board, and it's been about in that range all year.
I remember in my playing days, sometimes, a guy says, "Why do you keep swinging at the first pitch?" I said, "I don't want people to see my number."
How about that? A 1-2 pitch, check swing, ground ball to left field. Carraway took a turn and stops at second. I thought Joey was bringing him for a moment, but it all works out. He would have been out. Carraway stops at second. That is the beauty of this great game of baseball.
Excuse me, base hit.
A base hit for a struggling hitter who wants hits anywhere he can find him, and Dallas gets one.
That sometimes you got to be lucky, and that was a good situation. With check swing, the ball just found his bat, but the defense had swung over so far. He hit that ball to right at where a third baseman would be, and there was just nobody home.
Anthony Silva was playing way up the middle. Jack Bell was essentially playing shortstop, so a little squibber off the bat goes for a base hit into shallow left for Macias. 2 on, 1 out, 7-2 Beavers in the bottom of the 8th. The only thing that might change our whole, what's Keljo's future, would be another 3-run blast here, right? Maybe, Jimmy?
2-run double.
2-run double might do it, too. 7-2 Beavers. Peterson takes a fastball for a strike, and Beaver Nation lets Huber know what they thought of that call. 1-1 the count to Peterson. A 2-run homer for Tice in the third, the Beavers' last runs.
Generally speaking, I would say Huber's zone has expanded as the game has worn on.
Parker back to the plate. Peterson gets a piece of that cutter and fouls it at the plate. The count 1-2. Jimmy, does that strike you? It's hard for me to fully tell, but he's 95 on some of the fastballs. Those are coming in at 88. Is that just the hard slider?
Looks like a nasty pitch.
Yeah, it really does. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 7-2 Beavers, bottom of the 8th.
There it is.
And there it is again. The cutter is swung on and missed. Strike 3, 2 down. Easton Talt, the batter. Now,
this is a good matchup, though, for Oregon
It
State.
is, and TCU has a left-hander in the bullpen. And it makes me wonder. No. Parker looks good, but they do have a lefty. But I agree with you. This is a decent matchup for Talt. And Easton's going to get a chance to hit against the right-hander Parker. Why do you like the matchup, Jimmy?
Just because the righty-lefty thing and his cutter, the way that plays, I think that's just really tough on a right-hander.
First pitch in there for a strike. 0-1 the count,
cutter.
and again he cut it to the inner half, and Easton Talt took it. 0-1 the count, 2 on, 2 down, bottom of the 8th, 7-2 Beavers. Trent Caraway at second, Dallas Macias. And base hit, check swing to left field, the runner at first. Talt nearly hit by the strike 1 fastball inside, and the count 1-1.
Mike, best cutter in the history of the baseball, and I don't even think it's close. Mariano Rivera. It's unbelievable.
Filthy.
Just Hall of Fame basically on that pitch.
Yeah. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 on, 2 out. The pitch to Talt, fastball, cutter. In there for a strike, and the count 1-2. Jimmy, did you cutter as a term, as a variation of the fastball, cut fastball, has been around forever. Did you ever face a guy though that threw a nasty cutter?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Near the end, and left-handers near the end of their career, like Bud Black.
Yeah.
He developed it late. A lot of the left-handers kind of started it. Okay. And then those big right-handers, because they were always just big hard slider anyway, they just kind of flattened that out a little bit and got more cut and less slider.
The 1-1 pitch to Talt missing. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 on, 2 out. 7-2 Beavers, bottom of the 8th. Breaking ball pulled foul. That was the slider, and Talt got a piece of it to stay alive. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Has there been, in your estimation, a new pitch, or is everything, the terminology changes, or do you think over time in the evolution of the game we have seen quote-unquote new pitches?
Well, the fork ball, any
split
variation,
finger.
Split finger. I mean,
okay,
I new relatively. I mean, I probably 30 years new.
Talt cannot get the bat head out enough on a high fastball. He swings and it's a fly ball to right field. He took a shot at it. Noah Franco was there to make the catch. It was just too elevated to be able to turn on and drive. Good pitch by the right-hander, Cademan Parker. The bullpen has done an excellent job for TCU, trying to keep its hopes alive. The inning is over. The Beavers leave 2. Keljo returns to the mound looking for the final 3 outs so that the Beavers can play on into tomorrow. If they do, it would be 3 o'clock against the loser of the St. Mary's College USC game coming up at 6:06 here tonight. If the Beavers win that, they would play at 7:06 in another elimination game. We go to the night, the Beavers 7, TCU 2 on the Beaver Sports Network from Learfield.
Hey, Beaver Nation, there's nothing like celebrating a big win, right? Generations of OSU families know that you can't win in sports or life without a strong team to support you. When it comes to your health, P3 Oregon is proud to support Oregonians and the Beaver Nation. The P3 Care Team works alongside your provider to connect you with the care you need in between doctor's visits. Medication management, nursing support, health questions. Our team has got your back. Celebrate a winning season of health. Visit p3oregon.org to learn more.
The Oregon Potato Commission has teamed up with Oregon State Athletics to let everyone know how nutritious and performance-enhancing potatoes are. Did you know that potatoes are one of the most nutritious foods you can eat? Potatoes are loaded with vitamin C and have more potassium than a banana. That's why Oregon potatoes are an integral part of the Power Pack diet specifically designed to fuel Oregon State athletes. As alumni, supporters, growers, and the official state vegetable of Oregon, the Oregon Potato Commission is proud to support Beaver athletics. Go Beavs!
Top of the ninth inning, the Beavers 3 outs away from keeping their season alive. Nelson Keljo will try to get those 3 and earn himself a save. He's got to cope first with Chase Brunson, the 5-hole hitter who was doubled, grounded to short, and struck out. 7-2 Beavers, top of the ninth inning. Keljo ready to go to the right-hand hitting Brunson, delivers just outside, ball 1. Dax Whitney, a brilliant start, 6 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, a walk, and 12 strikeouts. Keljo's gone 2 innings, a hit with 2 walks and 2 strikeouts. About to make his 37th pitch. It's a fly ball to right field. A big out will begin the top of the ninth. Easton Talt is right there, shy of the warning track to make the catch. And Jimmy, you know exactly what I mean. You get the leadoff guy when you're trying to close a game. That's a gigantic step towards closing a game.
A little surprised, actually, to see Chase Brunson swing at that. Down 5 in the ninth, ball 1. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, usually you're taking a strike right there, but some coaches aren't necessarily believers. I'm not going to put my hitters in a hole. But after he goes 1-0, I mean, it'd probably take one.
Nolan Traeger, the batter, first pitch fastball, evidently a little low. Ball 1-0 to Traeger. Nolan, another of those outstanding freshmen. Coach Kirk Sarlos, if the season does come to an end today for TCU, and it will unless they mount a big rally, the 1-0 pitch, a strike, and the count 1-1. The composition of his roster looks pretty good for the future.
Yes, it does. He's got some young guys. A lot of sophomores as well on that roster, and I wanted to check the pitch here.
The 1-1 pitch from Keljo, swung on and missed on a good breaking ball in the count. 1-2 to Nolan Traeger with Anthony Silva on deck. 1 out, nobody on, top of the ninth. The Beavers leading 7-2.
Their best pitcher, Tommy Lepore, came in at 8-2. He's a sophomore.
The 1-2 pitch, low, ball 2-2. TCU had a rough time of it yesterday, clearly, even with Lepore. Tommy, their best guy, went 3 innings, 6 hits yesterday and 3 runs, and it didn't get much better thereafter. USC pounding TCU 13-1 to relegate the Horned Frogs to the losers bracket. The Beavers losing 6-4 to St. Mary's. The pitch to Traeger, low and inside, and Nelson has run the count full. 3 balls and 2 strikes with 1 out, nobody on in the top of the ninth inning. Keljo and Wilson Weber, the battery. Nelly to the plate. The 3-2 pitch taken low for ball 4. Third walk for Keljo, and that'll bring to the plate Anthony Silva, who has struck out, singled to left and scored, singled to center field off Keljo in the 7th inning. And Nelly would love to throw another one of those pitcher's best friends plays, the double play ball, and end this thing and put the Beavers into a 3:06 matchup in another elimination game tomorrow afternoon. But Silva, 2 hits on the day, 2 of the 5 for TCU. Takes just inside, ball 1 on the fastball. The zone, to me, Jimmy, has been a little inconsistent.
Yeah, there was a stretch there where I thought it sort of expanded, but of all the ones, this last pitch I thought was a strike.
Nelly comes set. The infield at double play depth. The 1-0 pitch is pulled foul into the Beaver dugout. And again, not making him throw a strike, just staying on the attack. 1-1 the count.
1-0.
Yeah.
After a walk. And you're down 5. I don't understand it.
Many things are difficult to understand.
I'm okay with it, though.
Yeah, no, it's all right. 1 ball and 1 strike the count. Nelson set, comes to the plate, change, high, ball 2, 2-1. Harold, your good friend, said with reference to Carl Hutzler and talking about him, we ended up talking about Willie Mays a little bit and Yogi Berra, who said to Harold when Yogi saw Harold in Montclair, New Jersey, got after him for Harold's expertise on the MLB network. Fastball, a strike, and the count 2-2. Yogi said to Harold, "You think you know everything. You don't know everything. If you knew everything, you'd know everything. Do you think you know everything? Why do you talk like you know everything? Yogi to Harold in Montclair, New Jersey. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. The 2-2 pitch, sprayed foul off to the right and out of play.
Sounds like Yogi was doing an imitation of Yogi.
Exactly.
He had some funny ones, though. Yeah, he had some really good ones.
But coming from Harold, I mean, he was repeating it almost verbatim. I don't think he was trying to create a Yogiism. Somehow that dialogue rings true. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Top of the 9th, 7-2 Beavers. The 2-2 pitch is low. Ball 3, 3-2.
A walk here will definitely elicit probably a mound visit and some activity.
3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Nelly to the plate. The 3-2 pitch hit foul down the right field line. This will carry towards between KC Corner and the Omaha Room. And those very references, Jimmy, tell me again, those are just 2 references to what the program has become that we've seen together through the years. The 11th Corvallis Regional. And since those days, KC Corner, the Omaha Room, the hitting facility and center, the Jacoby Ellsbury locker room. Amazing growth. Keljo to the plate, base hit to left field. So this thing isn't over. Gavin Turley plays it on a hop with 1 out, and the Beavers got the leadoff out, but now down to its final 2 outs of the year. A proud and outstanding program. TCU fighting to the end. A base hit to left, 2 on, 1 out. Isaac Cadena, who rode 1 out of here back in the 5th, the batter. And this will lead to not a visit from Rich Dorman yet anyway, but the entire infield gathers at the top of the hill here at Goff Stadium at Coleman Field. And as they do so, and we approach 3 o'clock on this partly cloudy, warm Saturday afternoon, TCU trying to hang in, 7-2 Beavers in the 9th. We want to pause and let our network stations identify themselves. 10-second break for station identification. This is Beaver Baseball from Learfield. Isaac Cadena, a chopper to first, a foul ball, fielded by Tice Peterson. It's too bad because Tice would have been able to take it to the bag for the second out of the inning. Yeah. The runners would have advanced. You'd take that exchange any time, but it is a foul ball in the count 0-1.
Mere inches.
Yeah.
I remember playing in a summer league game, and we were in Boulder, Colorado. The score was like we had 17, and Boulder had like 6. And there was a ball just like that. And the coach, it got foul, and the coach was just like, he was just too bad. I thought, what in the world are you worried about? It was in by 11, and yeah, we lost that game.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yeah.
The strike 1 pitch rolled foul in the count 0-2. I hope we're not looking back at that anecdote with Rue later.
12 in the 7th.
Oh my gosh,
that wasn't a bad Boulder team. Mark Langston, Mike Moore, Joe Carter,
pretty
Steve
good
Bushell,
guys. Good guys.
Spike Owen.
Wow. 0-2 the count to Isaac Cadena. 2 on, 1 out, top of the 9th. Keljo delivers, taken low, ball 1. 1-2. Willie Wilson Weber tried to bring that back up. It did miss down. 1-2 the count. 7-2 Beavers, top of the 9th inning. Singer and Arquette poised for a double play ball up the middle. Cadena has struck out twice and hit a 2-run homer. 2 on, 1 out in the 9th. 7-2 Beavers. Keljo to the plate, chopped foul over the top of the TCU dugout, rolling across the dugout to one of the camera people. Great job all year by the Beavers Dam Analytics Squad. Kai Nishida, Joel Angus, Amelia Moore, Dylan Kleinschmidt, Ethan's brother, Kellen Swanson, Olav Moeller, and Patrick Quigley under the direction of Brad Brown. And it just seeing the camera and all the tools and all of that making me think of the squad. The 1-2 fastball just outside ball 2. I think Gavin Turley out in left field is saying, hey, what was that pitch to me earlier? And now the count, 2 balls and 2 strikes here in the top of the 9th inning.
Boy, I tell you, the strike zone's turned into a soup can.
Pretty good pitch by Nelly. He'll try to execute another one here. The 2-2 pitch hit foul off third. Caraway comes over. This will carry into the Jack Riley concourse. The count 2-2.
Give Cadena credit, though. I mean, he has fouled off I think, at least 3 pitches, and somehow dissected the other 2 that I thought could have been strikes.
Top of the 9th inning, 7-2 Beavers, but TCU fighting as we expected them to the end. Keljo delivers, pulled foul outside of first, and it remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. Jimmy, did you feel as a hitter, if you were in that kind of mode, that you were going to win after a while, that the pitcher can't keep executing his stuff and that you're going to get a pitch to hit? Was that your mentality?
Yeah, I always thought I was going to get a hit. Right. But the thing is, if I remember all the longest of my at-bats, it didn't end up well.
And nor does this for Isaac Cadena. The 2-2 slider swung out and missed, strike 3. Keljo does win that fight. It was a good one. 2 down in the top of the 9th inning. Brody Green will be lifted for a pinch hitter as Kirk Sarlos dips into his bench and summons Jack Arthur to pinch hit here in the top of the 9th with the Horned Frogs down to their final out. That was a really good battle between Keljo and Cadena.
And give Keljo credit, because I think he overcame a couple tough calls, but he stayed with it, and he threw a bunch of other strikes that got fouled off by Cadena, but he won the battle.
The first pitch to Arthur, swung on and fouled back. 0-1 the count. Fans on their feet, many of them chanting in unison, "Let's go Beavers, let's go Beavers." Whitney and Keljo have combined to strike out 15. 2 on, 1 out, or 2 outs, top of the 9th inning. The Beavers an out away from keeping their season alive. Keljo's strike 1 pitch. Fastball swung on and missed. Reaching back a little bit. Up to now 61 pitches on the afternoon, 95 miles per hour, 0-2 the count. Nelly and the Beavers a strike away from playing their way into tomorrow. Jack Arthur, the pinch hitter at the plate. Nearly everyone in the house on their feet. The strike 2 pitch, fastball foul back. Arthur got a piece to stay alive.
You know, one of the things about pinch hitting, I didn't pinch hit a ton in my life, but in the times I did, I wanted to get a swing at the first strike I saw, because I don't know where I'm at. I don't have 3 at-bats to weigh with. I need to know right now, am I on this guy, am I not? And that's what Arthur did at that first pitch.
Keljo back, strike 2. Fastball taken. Did that miss low, Jimmy?
I think that's what home plate umpire Nate Huber
Boy, Nate Huber, like you said, soup can, that's too big. Postage stamp. 1-2 the count. Wow, that was close. And Jack Arthur fortunate to still be up there. First and second, 2 down, top of the 9th inning. 7-2 Beavers. Keljo trying to end it here. Comes to the plate. The 1-2 fastball taken. Strike 3 called. Nelson Keljo ends it on a fitting note, a strikeout. And for the second straight time in the series between the Beavers and the Texas Christian University Horned Frogs, the Beavers end TCU season. They did 4 years ago in Fort Worth in the Fort Worth Regional, and TCU is 2-2 in Corvallis in their first ever trip up here. But Kirk Sarlos has a good club with a lot of great talent coming back in the future. The Beavers have a future, and it's tomorrow. Next against either St. Mary's College or USC in another loser's bracket game. But the Beavers are big winners today. Final score, the Beavers 7, TCU 2. The Beavers pitchers strike out 16, Jimmy, and play their way into tomorrow.
Turnabout's fair play. The Beavers struck out offensively yesterday 16 times. They put it in the hands of their pitchers, who struck out 16 Horned Frogs. And Dax Whitney was wonderful. And Nelson Keljo just enough to get her done. He goes 3 innings. He'll get a save for that.
Yes.
But give the Beavers credit for bouncing back. They did enough. They did enough early. Down the stretch, I don't think they scored.
After the third.
Yeah. But they already had enough in the bank, and they'll move on to play tomorrow.
We'll talk more about that coming up in our postgame show. The Beavers defeat Texas Christian University to keep their season alive. We'll talk about what's at stake, what's ahead, potential pitchers and arms and so on, as we get into our postgame show from the McGrath Family Press Box. The Beavers 7, Texas